what time it is. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Overdose. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. You know him as a dope actor, Kevin D. Bitten. 360 twice, Jim, how you keep winning. And you know the baddest actress, Nikee Warren. She's so bad you walking past, she had you speaking for her. If you ain't tuning in, this your reality check. You might miss out on your favorite star celebrity guest. When they celebrate, what you do? You get the bell, yeah. During Kevin's corner, get inspired and encouraged, yeah. Bend them corners while you listen, but don't swerve. Find out what's getting on Nikee nerves. What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? Keep on playing. Me and Kevin Goons and we gon' get you hit. Yo, check us out on social media. In your mobile phone, we everywhere. You ever stations played out like a ringtone. Follow me like Bino R-E-M-E-Y. Bino Remy. Pop like Semi. And my flow hotter. Thicker semi. Been doing this since I scraped up pennies. But back to the subject, Kevin Nikee.
All right.
We are back.
Yeah.
We are back.
Yeah.
We are back. It is hot out. It's been hot out lately, but we are back. We are back. We are back.
It's hot. It's hot. It's very hot.
It's been very, very hot.
It's stifling. Well, it's not stifling. It's hot.
It's just been hot.
Yeah, it's been
But
hot.
we are back, and it is another exciting week, another exciting show, another exciting episode. The only show where there's only one episode.
They keep rolling.
The Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
I'm actor Kevin D. Benton.
And I'm actress Nikee Wilfred.
And we are so happy, so glad, so thrilled to
Yes.
be back.
Yes. You hear that harmony?
I know, yeah. Two-part harmony. Anyway,
Yes.
there's always a lot going on. There's always a lot to talk about. And so, with that being said, let's jump right on
Yeah, we're
into
going to
it.
jump into it.
All right.
Okay.
So it is now time for the many adventures of Kevin and Nikee.
Yo.
Yeah. All right,
Yo.
Nick. So what's been going on?
Well, I have still been going over my accent.
Okay.
You know, I have to learn Haitian Creole.
Okay.
So I still been going over that.
All right.
Learning some words and different things like that. I wanted to do it like, kind of focus on it so I can get it down fluently.
Right.
And, so that it's no question of the authenticity of it.
Right.
I wanted to make sure that it's authentic and that people will not be saying, what is that?
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't.
But,
that's what I don't want. Like, So I've been really, 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 really working on it.
Okay.
Spending some time there.
When you were saying fluently, it immediately took me back to when I used to watch Sesame Street, and they used to have that because we learned a lot of stuff because of the song that went with it. We learned our ABCs because of that song.
Yep.
But it was that song. They gave you a word, and it would go fluently, fluent. So and when you said that, it made me think about that. Okay. It's just amazing how like our brains kind of map things.
You've been watching Sesame Street.
Hey, look.
I grew up on Sesame Street.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Captain Noah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That was the shows we grew up on. But that made me think about that. But so I know you've been working really, really hard on your accent. You want to give our listening audience a little taste?
You were going to say
you knew I was going to say it.
If you all.
you want just give them a little taste. Maybe one sentence or a couple words.
Let me see. What can I say? All right. So let me see if I can. Okay, I must just say one word. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bonjour.
That don't constitute a sentence. You know what I mean? You gotta at least say a sentence. You gotta at least say a couple words. You know what I'm saying? Let
me say bonjour, madame.
Okay.
How about that?
That was good.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Monsieur.
Yeah. Bonjour, monsieur.
There you go.
How about that?
That was good.
How about that? Okay.
That was good. That was good. Okay. You holding back on us, but that was good.
Because I'm still learning.
I got you.
I'm still learning, and I'm still because it's a certain way that you have to say them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you have to. It's certain way because as I'm watching the video, right, and I'm learning, it's certain ways that you have to hold your mouth, and your lips to get the right accent out.
Yeah,
like we would just say bonjour, but it's not that. It's bonjour. So you have you
got to and one of the techniques that that we learned is actually the puckering of the lips, like you're about to whistle.
Yeah.
And also we have to know the difference between Creole, Haitian, and West African,
right?
Because West African they say fada,
right.
And Creole, Haitian they say fader. You know what I'm saying? Fader. So it's it can be challenging, but if you put in the work and put in the effort, and I know you will.
And not only that, but Haitian Creole is mixed with a little French as well.
Right, and that's where the bonjour
exactly. So it's like you're taking all of that and you're meshing it in.
Right.
And I guess from what I gather, when you go certain places, you have to know which dialect to speak, right, because it's different, you know what I mean. So that's what I'm learning. Also, there's a nice little video I found on Facebook where you get lessons, lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and each lesson you go up gets a little harder because you have to take everything you learned from lesson 1 and you got to put it in lesson 2. So it's a cute little thing. And it's crazy because that video that I found, a lot of people be paying for stuff like that.
And see, that was going to be my point, and that's the next thing I was going to put out there. We're paying a lot of money, or we get offered to pay a lot of money for acting classes and voice lessons and accent classes and things like that. And there's so much free information out here at our fingertips on YouTube. There are people that do free lessons on YouTube, and they do it in the name of getting hits and helping people.
Exactly.
And I'm not against, taking acting classes in the classroom or one-on-one sessions and all those things, because I believe that it is certain things that you can only get from being there physically. You know what I mean? And you have an actual camera stand in front of you and things like that, and instructor angling this and angling that.
Yeah.
But in terms of some of these things that we can learn, like like accents and things like that, it's a lot of information that if you just Google how to learn a British accent or a Creole accent or Haitian accent, it'll come up. Yeah, it'll come up.
Especially for an actor, because they want to know that you can, you have to be able to have a broad range where you can speak another language. Okay, you can speak French. We need you over in this movie here. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you have to be open to that.
Right. And here's the thing, for us that do not have these various different accents, it's imperative that we get it down to perfection, because for that matter, they can just cast somebody who's West African or Creole or Haitian. So we have to do our research. We got to be diligent. And when we do that video audition or that Zoom audition, we got to hit our marks. That's good. You're doing great, studying and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then the other thing I did, I went hiking again. And I so loved it.
Rumor has it you almost passed out. Is that true?
Sort of.
Okay.
Sort of. This was a different one we went to. We didn't go to the same one we went to last time.
Okay.
So this one was a longer walk.
Okay.
So all my joints and everything was and soreness.
That's where you gotta get some Epsom salt.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I had to get that Epsom salt and rub myself down with some ice.
Yeah,
you know, to get it all together. But it was good. I had my mask on and everything, so it was good to get out and do stuff. You know, after you've been in the house for a whole week working, because you know I'm working from home. Oh, and guess what, guys? Guess what, y'all? Oh my God, y'all not gonna believe this. So I had a conference. You know, I told you guys that I've been working from home since the pandemic, and that's one thing that all these companies are discovering, that hey, it works. You can work from home and it actually works. So I had a conference call with my job last Friday, and guess what? We will be working from home for the rest of the summer, probably indefinitely. I'm hoping that it's indefinitely, because I save a ton on gas. It takes me 45 minutes, a half hour, 45 minutes to get to work, half hour, 45 minutes to get back. And you know, all that traffic, come on, I can't do that. I can't do that. So I prefer to work from home. You know, I get a lot done working from home, working out at the same time while I'm working from home. I can cook, I can clean, and I can even work on my deck. I love all of it.
Right.
You know, so that was the highlight of my weekend.
Okay, that's what's up.
So what did you do?
Well, I mean, for me, I've been keeping up with my exercise.
Yeah.
So I've been, you know, continuing to be faithful with that. And I feel like I'm losing some weight. Good. I feel like I'm losing weight till I eat my Mike nights.
You know what?
And
do you feel your pants getting loose?
Yeah. I can feel that, but also when I look in the mirror, I'm looking a little bit more lean. Yeah. You know, and you know, it's always wishful thinking to get back to that size when I was playing basketball. But once again,
make a muscle. Let me see.
I'm not making a muscle.
Why you not gonna make the muscle?
That's once again, that's wishful thinking.
Over there, you know, like over
there. That's wishful thinking, but that's not gonna stop me from trying. But I've been diligently riding my bike and staying faithful to that, and my exercise and running the steps, and doing my my sit-ups and crunches and things like that, and because I want to still be able to fit into these suits, you know what I mean, for these roles, and just trying to look healthy, and I'm more so doing it, number one, to stay in good health and good health and shape and stuff like that. Also, to protect my peace. You know, life, it's a lot of stress going on right now. We got the pandemic, we got the epidemic, and all the other problems of life didn't go nowhere. Right. Things like that. So it's to protect my peace. But then and it's also to just try to stay fit and in shape for these roles, as fit as I can be for me and my age. Right. I'm not trying to...
A nice bike ride.
Yeah.
Bike
ride.
Yes.
Your brain's working backwards.
It is working back. A nice bike ride and a nice walk, that definitely cures all of that.
Yeah, hiking and all that stuff.
Yeah, that definitely cures it.
Yeah, and like they said, 60 minutes a day, man, is a good place to start. But I'm looking forward to actually getting back in the gym and kind of lifting weights, manually. If I can. If I'm not, I'm gonna keep it with the regimen that I have, and it's working for me, and I'm very satisfied. Other than that, man, just like staying on my line, staying on the grind, always expanding our show. So we're in the process of joining more platforms to make us go more worldwide than worldwide. So we're always expanding. And I am in talks with some guests. Speaking of French, like you mentioned, we got a guest that we're going to have on very shortly from France. He's a writer, director, producer, a phenomenal talent, and we're going to bring him on the show all the way from France. We just got to sync up the time. And also, guys, we want to just kind of give y'all a heads up. I am in talks with the actor who played the bully Chang in The Karate Kid. Nice. And we're going back and forth. We're emailing. He's agreed to come on the show. Very nice. And so Nikee and I have to, email him some information and things like that. And we're going to be bringing you that. So I'm always looking to expand our show. Very nice. We're worldwide, so we go worldwide. And this is, of course, is not the first time, because we had our dude Brady on the show all the way from Australia. Yeah. So he was a rapper from Australia. And So we're looking forward to that. I'm always kind of doing administrative work as it pertains to our show and acting. And I'm also always doing that brand work as it pertains to our show and acting. So staying on my line, staying on the grind, developing my characters. I expect myself, when it's time to get back on set, to have these characters perfected, because I've had a lot of time and I'm putting a lot of energy and effort into it, just as you have, and you the same. And I expect myself to nail it. You know what I mean? And that's what I expect from myself, and I know that's what you expect from yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're gonna bring to the table. So it's been interesting, but I know that there's always things that we can be doing in the name of our brand, with the show and acting, and in the name of expansion and things like that. Just tightening up loose screws, you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's always a good thing.
It's always a good thing to do that. Yeah, it's always a good thing to do that. So it's been one of those weekends where we both been working.
It's working, yeah.
Just working.
Don't stop working. Yeah.
And getting ready.
Yeah. And we talked about this on the show. And I'm sure people who are just starting out acting, their whole thing is they just want to get in front of the camera and get on set. And that's part of it, knowing your lines, script analysis, scene development, developing your character, being prepared, wardrobe, makeup, hair, getting on set, holding, get in front of the camera and nailing it. But there's also a fitness component to acting. There's an administrative component to acting. There's a brand component to acting. There's headshots. There's resumes. There's acting class. There's so many different facets of acting that goes far beyond just getting on set and getting in front of the camera, because it is show business. So there is a business side to it, which we always want to be ever learning, ever growing, and ever developing. And then there's also, the show side to it, which we want to be ever learning, ever developing, and ever growing. And it's a lot, it's a lot. And, if, you're in a state where you're continue to grow and expand, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work to networking. That's another component. Networking, social events, even networking, social media, all that stuff. These are all components of acting that, we give attention to every day and stuff like that. Even if we don't talk about it as an adventure, it is truly an adventure.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is truly an adventure.
And sometimes you're building your brand one network person at a time.
Yeah.
And, but, I always say that once you get on TV regularly and get on the big screen regularly, your following will come follow you.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So don't worry about how many followers you got. Just do the work.
That's it.
Do the work. They'll come.
Yeah.
They'll come. Trust me. They will see you and they will come. Don't worry about that. Focus on doing the work. Focus on rehearsing at home. Like Kev said, the work starts at home. So focus on that. And focus on, building your character and your lines and different things like that. Focus on that. Take your focus off of the following. They will come. Trust me. They will come. Once they see you regularly. And as a matter of fact, they only got to see you in one good thing. And they will find you and stick with you for your entire career.
Right.
So, focus on the work. Give them something to follow you for.
Right.
That's what you do.
That's it. Yep, that's it.
That's what you do.
All right, well said.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to tell them where we can find. Oh, well, before I tell them where we can find them, I made mention last week that we failed to mention about the Positive Choices Celebrity Day. It was the virtual Celebrity Day.
Yeah.
I think it was like about 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was a huge success. They had Kevin Wilkins, NFL defensive tackle, Derek Murphy, our brother, world famous Harlem Globetrotters. He's an actor. And then it was David Tyree, Super Bowl champion, New York Giants, most famous for the helmet catch. I want to say it was Super Bowl 42 or 43. And we hope to get him on the show as well. I have talked to him on the phone a couple times, but the guy's just so busy. But we'll eventually get him. And then it was Caitlin Roeg DeBella. She was the hero teacher from the Sandy Hook Elementary School, who saved those first graders and stuff. And we're gonna have her on the show as well. And then they had Bob Hurley spoke as well, NBA High School Hall of Fame coach, St. Anthony's High School, and I think he only lost like 2 games in 9 years. His record is just phenomenal.
Oh, wow.
But he's producing good men and people out of his program who go on to big time college and a lot of play in the NBA. And then they had Danielle Dudek. She's an NCAA basketball record holder, graduate of Copeland Middle School, and I watched it, and it was phenomenal. It did a great job. Everybody spoke well. It was very, very impactful. It went from about 9:30 to about 11:30.
Okay.
And I got a call from Mr. Les just this week, man. He wanted me to tell you that, give you his best. Aww. And he sent his love, and we're looking forward to next year.
I'm looking
going to the classroom up in Copeland Middle School.
Forward to that.
Yeah, so we're going to have fun, man.
Yeah, I miss those kids. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. I really am. Yeah. And I would like to see the kids from when we went up there the first time, my very first time. I would like to see them just to see how they made out, how they're doing. Because I know they've all No, they didn't graduate.
They didn't graduate yet. They should
be
going to 8th?
No.
It was 7th, 8th grade.
They should be going to
high school.
They went. No, when we went, they should be in their junior year.
Okay.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yes.
Okay.
They should be in their junior, freshman, sophomore. They should be going to their junior year now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's where they should be going because we saw them 2 years ago.
Right.
Remember?
Right. Yeah. And it's great, man. It's just a great feeling to go in there, talk to them about making positive choices, using your own life, and experiences as a means to reach them and touch them. And then every now and then you'll get what I like to call God to give you a window of encouragement where somebody will come back and let you know how impactful what you said touched their lives. And that's just amazing because a lot of them kids be sitting there looking at you like you crazy while you talking to them and you pouring your heart out.
I know.
And they be sitting there looking at like, man, what you got to tell me, man?
Yeah.
What you got to tell me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I am not trying to hear this. That's with the look on their face. But a lot of them be taking it in and absorbing. And, you never know the seed that will be planted that'll come back and lead to their success in the future. And just to know that you had something to do with it. It's great.
Yeah. And
you went in the classroom you had easels and dry eraser boards.
Listen,
Nikee went in there like she was about to teach a geometry class.
I wasn't playing. It's a beautiful thing where, like you said, when a child can say, what you said really touched me. And I'm going to get it together, or I'm not even going to go that route, because the key is to get them now.
Right.
If you can't reach them when they're small, the key is to get them now, so that when they get out of school and they go on to live beautiful lives, they will remember what you said.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Because I remember, remember they had DARE. When we was in high school, they had DARE. And we would hear from them really, really like once a year during the assembly. Yeah. But one thing I like, and I'm not knocking DARE, they do a great job, they do fantastic. Anybody that's on the front line trying to fight this drug epidemic, kudos. But one thing I like about the Positive Choices, they're all year round program with 4 phases. And, we had Les on the show that culminates into the Celebrity Day, but they're like you said, they're reaching them at an early age. Yeah. Man, these kids are just so advanced in their knowledge and negative knowledge of life in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because listen, they got all kinds of stuff out there, like you said. They got all kinds of stuff. Especially when you're trying to study for a test and you're up all night cramming for a test. Okay, let me just take something to keep me up so I can study. There's all kinds of things out there that can grab these kids. Right. Peer pressure and
all these crazy challenges.
Yeah. Then you got the boyfriend girlfriend craze. Right. And it's a lot that goes on with these kids. Right. Depression, they can be depressed and we don't know. Right. They just start acting out. And that and that's not including just pain that they're going through. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these kids are in pain and they just turn to unproductive means to deal with it. Right. And stuff like that. So, and if these things are not dealt with now, they turn into adults with these same issues that are not dealt with, that they've been holding on to from death of a loved one. You know, the kids
internalize.
They don't understand death. You know, as we grow older, we understand. We come, you know, to understand a little bit. You know, as an adult, we still have some people who can't deal with the death of a spouse, of a parent, different things like that. But when you are a child and your mother or your father die, that's very hard. That's very hard. Or a grandparent, like you said, best friend. It's very hard. So it's one of those things with these kids are dealing with a lot, and it's on a deeper scale than we even know about. So we want to reach these kids now before they start turning to drugs to try and cope with that. Right.
That's good stuff. And that's why we just appreciate this opportunity, because we get to, you know, leave our imprint, a positive imprint, and maybe put a dent. And even if we save one person's lives from doing drugs and, you know, going down the wrong path, it really is mission accomplished. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right.
So looking forward to that next year.
Yes.
Definitely looking forward to that next year.
Yeah. All right. So you want to tell them where they can find us?
Yep. Yes. Let's do it.
All right. Go ahead. You go.
Okay. So I'm going to start it off.
I'll pick you up.
And you pick me up. Okay. All right. For those out there, check us out. We got a lot going on, a lot, you know, brewing that we are super excited about. Those things we can't tell you just yet, but just know we're getting ready. But in the meantime and in between time, while you're waiting for these awesome things that we got going on to come out, you know, after this pandemic, go to YouTube and check out actor Kevin D. Bitton and actress Nikee. We got a lot of awesome things up there for you to check out. Check out the award-winning news featuring myself and actor Kevin D. Bitton. And that's pretty much a story about what happens when the news you get is not the news you were looking for.
That's right.
And sometimes, you know, it's one of those things. What you gonna do? All right. And while you're on YouTube, check out the award-winning Honor. Check out actor Kevin D. Bitton and actor Logan Jenkins, multi-award-winning actor Kevin D. Bitton and multi-award-winning actor Logan Jenkins. Check out his Papa Wasn't Rolling Stone issues that they got going on in there. And
they come back to bite sometimes. They come back to get you, haunt you sometimes. You need to roll on home.
Listen. And I'm going to tell you right now, pay attention to that ending, because the ending is not what you would expect. Okay, so pay attention to that. What else we got on YouTube? We got on YouTube. Check out the DP series. I'm in that. Check that out. That was written by the awesome Oliver Burbage. Check out that. It's about this young man who he tried to change his ways. Where he was like into the drug life, and then he discovered that, hey, I'm a rapper. I want to change my ways and I want to start rapping. But that drug life catches up with him. That drug life, even though you're trying to get out of something, sometimes those things has a way of creeping back up on you, especially if it didn't go too well. So check that out. I play his mother, and I'm trying to keep him, you know, from that life, and I'm trying to get him to move down south with me. And, you know, before he can even do that, some things happen. So check out the DP series that is on YouTube as well. Also, we keep saying it, we say it every week, but the Covington Witches is on hold right now because we're trying to figure some things out. Some awesome things has happened to some of the cast members, and myself included. So we're trying to figure out how we can continue this series and make sure that everybody, you know, is accounted for. But check out the Covington Witches on Amazon Prime. On Amazon Prime, check that out. Season 1, episode 1 and 2 is up there. Watch it over and over and over again for me, please, and thank you. And while you're on Amazon Prime, Emergency Landing. We're Emergency Landing. What did we say about Emergency Landing?
It's up there, but it's not being. You can't watch it at this time. So we'll keep you guys posted on, you know, when that will be, you know, available to watch again. It's a really good movie about what happens when relationships go good, bad, and ugly sometimes, man. And yeah, you know, me and Nikee are in there, and we put forth, you know, some really, really good performances. So much so that you might think that's us in real life, but they're only characters that we created, y'all. That's it.
Okay.
Don't judge us.
Okay. While you're on Amazon Prime, check out The Right Path.
Yeah.
The Right Path, man. That's an awesome movie. Actor Kevin D. Bitton is in that. I'm in that as well. Kevin is the comedic side of The Right Path, and I am the serious drug dealing, gun flinging side.
You forgot knife wielding.
Knife welding too, y'all. Yeah.
So here's a quick story about we were filming a scene. Nikki's got a real knife, and AJ Franklin says, "Whoa, don't put that knife too close to my neck." Like Nikee was too much in the character, man.
Yes.
Too much in the character, but everybody was safe.
Listen, the knife, I thought the knife prop was a fake, but it was real.
But even if it is a prop knife, you still got to be careful. You put that joint close too.
Well, I had to make it look like I was getting ready to slit that throat.
You did. You
Yeah.
You almost did it in real life.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And show no remorse, y'all see?
What else we got on Amazon?
So, also, we got Single and Anxious on there, man. There's a lot of love, lust, and lies going on. I'm in season 3, episode 2, 5, and 10. But check out the whole season. It's really, really good. Season 1, 2, and 3. I played Ronald, just trying to hold down the good in life and protect my daughter from the evils of this world. I got my own problems going on that I try to keep from her, but she has this way of finding out. And we get into some really good father-daughter discussion that you want to check out. Also check out Revelation Blue. Good cop story. What kind of decisions is the lead cop making that has to do with faith or fear? It has to do with love or loyalty. Check it out, man, as he's trying to hold it down and make his way back to God some kind of way. Find out if he really makes it back or he just decides to take matters in his own hands and move forward. So while you're also on Amazon Prime, check out Mercy. There's a very, very relevant theme, the killing of unarmed African Americans. But in this one, what do you do when you're in a position where you can actually take revenge? Do you take revenge or do you show mercy? Find out what decision is made. Great actors doing great things, man. And I play brother number 1. I'm like the good conscience in there, just telling them, no, don't do it, man. Don't do it. There's consequences. You know what I mean? It's real, real good, man. So check that out. Also, go over to Stars. Check out Jason's Letter. Same theme that we're talking about. Relevant theme with what's going on. And we were just fascinated and just grateful to be a part of that project because we felt like we were using our artistic ability to address a very serious issue that's going on, the killing of unarmed African Americans and police brutality. It's not a cop-bashing movie. In fact, there are some cops who are actors in the movie who did a phenomenal job. And we want to give a shout out to the awesome, phenomenal Terrence Hakeem and the whole entire cast of Jason's Letter. So check that out. Also, while you're on Amazon Prime, check out Old Head series. It's talking about what's going on in the inner city with our youth, with politics, with the drugs, with, much, much more. And I play a crooked politician, man. I really do love the kids. But somehow, I don't know how I came up with this mink coat, but that bad boy was sharp. I might have took some money, but I might have
He
not.
likes them liquor licenses, y'all. Okay.
Liquor license.
Listen, you want your
liquor license. Every time you see me, Mr. Baby, talking about liquor license.
That's what he want. He want them liquor licenses, y'all.
Yeah, but
he care for the kids, but he wants them liquor licenses.
But I might be playing both sides of the fence. But tune in, Old Head, the series on Amazon Prime. You also get some sneak peeks on YouTube. Check that out as well. Also, check out the Recession web series. Season 1 is up there. Very, very good web series, man. I'm in there playing a bank owner, Mr. Tyrone Williams, and I'm just showing off and just misbehaving. Once again, it's only a character. It's not me in real life. Disclaimer. Anyway, so check it out. Check out the Recession web series. And anything else we got? I think we covered it all.
Did we cover it all?
Yeah.
Oh, did we talk about Jason's Letter?
I mentioned
Jason's
Jason's
letter. We're good.
Yeah. So
we're
good.
So we mentioned everything.
So look, continue to follow us and check us out. Subscribe. Look, we'll subscribe back. And, we're just so thankful and grateful to be a part of this journey and all the fascinating and talented, good people we've met and had the chance to work with. So check us out. And we got some more stuff coming. We're going to keep y'all guys posted, like Nick said. And things are moving along, even in the midst of the pandemic. Things are moving along. And so we're waiting to get back out there and get this thing get this thing started in here.
Let's get it started in here.
Yeah. Oh, you see, like the harmony. Yeah. All right. Wow. So we ready for our special guest? We gonna take a break? Are we ready for our special guest? What we gonna do?
Listen, we're gonna take a break, but before we do, man, listen.
Our special guest is hailing all the way from Toronto. He is a super multi-talented actor, commercial actor, model, writer, director, producer. He does his own stunts and scenes, editor, special effects, cinematographer. He's a director. He do second unit and assistant director, casting director, casting department, martial arts, former athlete, former professional soccer player. I mean, he just does it all.
Everything but crafties,
Everything
man.
but crafties, man.
Everything but crafties. He got it going on
and
for real.
And you know what? He has a very, very intriguing story of how he ended up or his reasons for going over to Taiwan.
Yeah.
And it was for humble reasons that he went over there.
Yeah.
We're going to let him tell it. And he ends up being a martial arts action hero. And he is doing this thing. He's doing it big. And look, don't touch that dial. We're going to be right back. You are going to want to hear this. And he's a good, good dude. And we got mutual friends, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Here we go.
It's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere. And we will be right back.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat. Step two, step two, step two, step two, step two, step two. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat. Step two, step two, step two, step two, step two. Baby girl,
what would you do to get to me? What would you say to have your way? Would you give up or try again? If I hesitate to let you in, now would you be yourself or play a role? Tell all the boys or keep it low. If I say no, would you turn away or play me off? Or would you stay up? First you don't succeed. Dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again and try again. Cause if at first you don't succeed, you can dust it off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again and try again. I'm into you into me, but I can't let it go so easily. Not till I see what this could be eternity or just a week. Your chemistry is off the chain. It's perfect now, but will it change? This ain't a yes, this ain't a no. Just do your thing, we'll see how it goes. First you don't succeed. Dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again, try again. First you don't succeed. You can dust it off and try again, try again. Dust yourself off and try again, try again. You don't wanna throw it all away. I might be shy on the first day. What about the next day? I said you don't wanna throw it all away. Bugging on the first day. What about the next day? And if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again and try again. Cause if at first you don't succeed, you can dust it off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again and try again.
Satisfy your sweet tooth with some tasty treats from the Brownie Shop. Fudge cupcakes, sweet potato pie, freshly baked bread, homemade ice cream, creamy chocolatey brownies, and much, much more. Check out their full menu on Facebook Brownie Shop or Brownie Shop 2019 Instagram. Get your next dessert from the Brownie Shop. Your sweet tooth will love you for it.
Urban Elite Beauty LLC is an online urban beauty supply store that serves both men and women in urban communities. Our goal is to provide quality beauty solutions for our culture and community. Most importantly, we want to instill in our friends the importance of loving thy hair, loving thy skin, and to love thyself. Check us out on social media, on Facebook at Urban Elite Beauty, on Twitter at dbenton71, on Instagram at urban_elite_beauty, and for more information, go to our website at www.urbanelitebeauty.com or email founder and CEO David Benton at dbenton@urbanelitebeauty.com or call 609-217-5292. Check us out and see what the Urban Elite Beauty experience is all about. All right, so we are ready for our special guest that we've been telling y'all a lot about. And
listen, our special guest is a Toronto-based, multi-talented, 22-time international award-winning SAG-AFTRA film and TV commercial actor. He's also a model, writer, director, producer, and performs his own action stunts. And he's also an editor, special effects. He's a cinematographer and second unit director and assistant director. He's also a casting director. Our special guest is the co-founder of the Movie Expo, which is an annual event created to bridge the gap between new talent in the industry and to pay tribute to all the stars helping behind the scenes, from makeup artists to agents to stunts and editors. Our special guest is also an athlete who is a former professional martial artist. He's a soccer player who played on the Junior Manchester United Football Club and an ATP JRS tennis champ. As an actor, our special guest is most known for titles such as The Briefcase, an 80s themed movie that became our special guest's first milestone as a star and director. The movie was his big screen debut in Hollywood as the director and star of the film and earned him several nominations and awards. Notably, the Breakout Male Action star in 2013 at the A.O.F. International Film Festival in Los Angeles, and then a project called Dead End, which was one of 4 zero-budget films that he created that trailblazed his career and starred a predominantly female cast and crew and demonstrated the voice of equality to many productions as it pertains to revolutionizing women in filmmaking and the industry as a whole. Our special guest is also known for titles such as Trust, Trigger, First Bust, award-winning action comedy, which earned him the title of Male Action Performer of the Year in 2015. Shadowhunters, Battlefield, Divided We Stand in 2015, based on the 6th best-selling video game franchise Call of Duty. And Lost in the Pacific, 2016, one of the biggest Hollywood-China co-productions. Our special guest was the sole comedian actor selected to join the international cast alongside Brandon Routh, who played in Superman Returns, Russell Wong, who played in Romeo Must Die, and Vincent Ward, Walking Dead. Our special guest's continual devotions and unsurpassed passion for film has recently been recognized as the youngest recipient of the Icon Awards 2016, presented by legendary Dr. Bob Goldman and Michael D. Pasquale Jr. in Los Angeles. Listen, our special guest can also be seen in notable titles such as Suicide Squad, Pacific Rim, RoboCop, Nikita, and host of other short films, videos, and so much more. Our special guest recently wrapped his most recent role on Project Extraction, starring Jackie Chan and John Cena, where he plays Paddock's mercenary, the muscle besides the Game of Thrones actor Plow Aspect Paddock. A video game mobile phone app project with Sylvester Stallone, Battle Strikes Force. Man, he has got it going on. Hallelujah. While our special guest is eagerly waiting for the industry to get back into the swing of things due to the pandemic, in the meantime, he has written 5 new scripts, and started the online self-tape casting for the roles. He has also started sharing his early beginnings of zero-budget films that influenced many young filmmakers and women in film to go out and just do it. Just do it. On his Instagram Live segment where he does Q&As and free seminars, which offers anywhere from new action fight choreography for film routines, action classes, in-home workouts, as well as film industry actor secrets for all the up-and-coming artists. Who are we talking about, y'all?
He's on the line, and we just excited to have him. So, without further ado, we have Mr. Tazito Garcia.
Yes.
Yeah, the crowd goes crazy.
The crowd goes wild.
Yes,
we got
indeed.
Tazito Garcia, a.k.a. Taz. Did I pronounce that right?
That's right.
That's
right.
it. You got him on the line, man.
Nice.
And, before we get started, man, I just want to say thank you so much, for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the show. And we're so grateful and thankful to Diana, a friend of Diana's, a friend of ours. She's so amazing. And you have such an awesome body of work, and you're doing great things. And, you had humble beginnings, and you definitely have an intriguing story about perseverance and being a journeyman. And you a action star, man. I mean, you filming with Jackie Chan. It don't get no bigger than that, man.
That's right. Right.
Yeah. So thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you. And it's an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. And I know this is on the record. The energy from both of you guys is insane. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, man. We really appreciate it, man. Yeah. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So look, man, we're going to jump right on into it.
Yes.
So go ahead, Nick. Take it away.
So listen, you are an actor, you're a model, writer, director, producer. You got everything going on but crafties, man. You cooking too?
You cooking? Yeah. Well, actually, I think he do cook.
I do.
I saw that. He cooks as well.
Oh my Lord have mercy.
He got the diet.
You
He got the awesome diet going on so he can stay in shape.
And he's crafties, y'all.
And he's
crafties too. This is just amazing. Now, this is the first this is the first person we had on the show that's all of it.
That's all of it. Yeah.
Wow, this is just crazy. But I want to go back to the beginning because I like hearing about how people actually got started, because you're acting, you're modeling, you're writing, directing, and different things like this. Tell our listeners a little bit about how you got started acting. How did you get started with all this stuff?
Woo, it's a long journey. Let's start off by saying I was always intrigued by the characters on TV and off of TV, meaning it could be any personality that I came across from a kickboxer, a Bruce Lee movie, a Jackie Chan movie, but also equally entertained by neighbors that would come in or family members that would come in.
Right.
And I would just look at my uncles, I'd look at my cousins, I'd look at my neighbors, I'd look at everyone, and I'd try and imitate them. And, if they had an accent, I'd try. And if I saw them, play with their mustache, I saw them have an extra, stride in their step. If they had, an aura about how they sat down, a certain posture, I was very intrigued, and I always felt like you know what, this is really cool. I think there's an art to imitating people, almost like impersonating them, whether it's the vocal side or whether it's actually the physical aspect to it.
Right.
And I would get in a lot of trouble with my parents because they would say that was really rude, and I was like, I'm not doing it to be rude. I'm doing it because it's almost like a case study.
Right.
You study how they sit, how they walk and talk. And they were just like, no, you're being super rude, that's really impolite. You can't be doing that to this uncle. You can't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to whoop it a few times, but hey,
Wow.
and same thing with cartoons. It was very prominent during the 80s, and you'd see the cartoons and Donald Duck, and and
Right,
you would
right,
just
right.
throw all
That's
these
right.
things
That's
and
right.
imitate it.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, it was like, my God, this guy's gonna grow up to be the class clown, and I was like, maybe,
Right,
maybe.
right, right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens. But I had an eye for entertaining people, and I had an eye for bringing people together through the arts, through entertaining them. Even if they didn't speak the same language, I knew that certain things can bring people together, like music and like action.
Right.
Action. And when you look at somebody like Jackie Chan, because you've met Jackie, I've worked with Jackie. It's one of those things where no matter where in the world his action is displayed, people will appreciate it. People don't need to understand what's going on in terms of the dialogue, the conversation, but they will appreciate it. In terms of all the physical prowess that he has, everything, the entire process, the progress of the scene from running away from the bad guys to having no choice, but I don't want any trouble.
Right.
And then he says,
Right. Exactly. I did.
you know what I
don't
mean?
want to-
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the beginning. You know what I mean? And it's funny. I've traveled around the world, and the one thing they seem to remember about Jackie is, I don't want any trouble. And
Right.
I'm cool. There's always an uncle in the movie. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
But they've always appreciated the amount of work and heart that he puts into it. And right there and then, I found somebody that I'm like, man, this is it. This is a path that I want to take. I didn't know how I was going to get started, but I knew when I was a kid, it's a very traditional mindset. You're going to grow up to be a lawyer. You're going to grow up to be a doctor. You're going to grow up to be an engineer. What do you mean an actor? What do you mean an artist? You know what I mean? This could be a hobby on the side.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm okay. I'll go through my schooling, and I did, and I graduated from university, and I had all this stuff. But I also played professional sports,
Right.
and I used that as an opportunity for discipline.
Okay.
To really discipline myself, and for me to really understand that when you start off in acting, it's exactly the same thing. Like when you're playing on a team, football, soccer, basketball, you can be amazing, but you have a team that's already established a chemistry over decades.
Right.
They understand each other without even talking. So when this new guy comes in, they look at you and they're like, no. You know what? You take a seat, and when the time comes, just be ready. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest lesson that really kind of propelled me into the industry, is the fact that I didn't wait for you to come and knock on my door and say, hey, you're ready. And I said, oh, man, give me a week, give me 2 weeks.
Right.
I was like, yep, I'm ready. Let's go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
basically how I ended up where I was. I was ground shaking, trailblazing, doing everything I could that I was told could not be done. And I created my own steps and paths, and eventually merged onto the bigger path.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, because you're a former professional martial artist, and I don't even want to put former, because you always, know it. You know what I'm saying? Once you learn it, soccer player on the Junior Manchester United Football Club, and an ATP Junior Tennis champ. So you definitely have that thread and that fiber, like you said, that comes from sports, professional sports, that can carry over to any aspect of life. Because I know, me having played, professional sports as well, I still use some of the same disciplines from basketball. I just channel right into acting. You just kind of use that same work ethic, that same discipline, stick-to-itiveness, and you definitely it definitely comes in handy. Nothing is wasted. Yeah. So how did you did you originally go to Taiwan, or did you just go straight to Toronto? Were you like an English teacher, or was that like your original or one of your, I guess, purposes for going over there? And then all this stuff just kind of sprung out of that. How did that go?
Oh man, it's I started off doing the whole academic path. You know what I mean? But at the same time, parallel to that, I had my martial arts school. I was always teaching martial arts throughout the week. I had my students. I had my dojo. And I was looking at expanding that dojo with my students. You know, the higher they are in the ranks, they could actually relieve you of some duties and they can open up and run a different branch. So that's kind of the path I was going down, I guess. And then I had a bunch of, you know, acting gigs that I auditioned for. And I was like, you know what? If this ever picks up, and then I took away the ever. I said, when this picks up, I'm going to make sure it's a point. I'm going to make sure that I'm actually going to drive. There's no plan B. I'm actually going to push. I'm going to go through all that resistance, through all that. Let's see how bad you want it. And I said, when the time is right, I'm going to have a conversation with my students and tell them that I'm going to be closing shop. As much as I don't want to be doing that, but I think that's only fair, that if they're there to learn from the sensei or the master of the school, and then you're not going to be there anymore. It's not really fair for them to be learning from the second in command or third in command. Yeah. So I laid it straight out, and I was like, guys, listen, here's the situation. Here's what's going on. You know, this is something that's always going to be embedded in my life. Martial arts is a way of living for me now. It's not like a small workout phase that I'm going through. And the great thing about it is they understand that, and I embedded a lot of the martial arts tactics and discipline into their life, where if they came in a minute late, it was, you know, push-ups and handstands for them. And I told them, guys, listen, you may think it means nothing in this class, but I'm teaching you, because if you go into an interview and you're a minute late or 5 minutes late, that's it. It's game over before the interview starts, before the job opportunity starts. You know, so I was teaching them through that method. And then from there, I said, okay, you know what? I'm still going to do my career through my schooling, through my academic side. So I was doing that. I was running my martial arts club at the same time, and I was doing the acting on the side. And I was doing everything as an investment. I was like, okay, I'm not going to jump ship just yet, but I know where my heart is. And when I can stand on my feet and actually treat it as an investment, where I got to get my headshots, I got to get my demo reels, everything had to be printed, everything had to be very old school. There was no such thing as email. Emails was considered rude, you know what I mean? So at that point in time, it was, you really, really had to grind and really, really had to hustle, and just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And a few things would pick up, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I can't wait for this thing to happen every 6 months. I can't pay rent. I can't live. I can't, you know, eat, can't do anything. So I'd fall back on another skill I had, which was being a teacher. And I started teaching in public school. I started teaching in a private school as well. And then through that private school, they flew me out to Shanghai to create an ESL program, which is English as a second language. And they still use it to this day. And it was great. Such a great time. You get to see all the beautiful people, the culture, the city, the town, the food. Beautiful experience. But the best feeling was always having the parents coming in and telling you, you know, we see a change in our students because you give them the application part of it. And it's not just open up a book, write pages 3 to 30, which tends to be the style that they have. And for me, within the by the second week, I was like, guys, you're going to call a live person and you're going to order a pizza. For your third week, we're going to go to the mall and we're going to have you talk to the managers and associates and have you ask for sizes, ask for colored shirts, ask for pants, ask for shoes. You know what I mean? Because I was like, you got to get ready for the real life. Everything you're doing. That's why you could be great with writing, but really bad with communicating. And I said, okay, you know what? End of the day, whatever business you get into, you have to be efficient with communicating. So yeah, it was a bit of teaching. It was a bit of, you know, whatever was left of the professional sports, and then there was the acting on the side, which was at the time a job. You know, it was contract work mostly. And there was hospitality and tourism management, which is my major in school. And it was basically bouncing back and forth all these things, and I was just waiting for that big chance for the acting industry to kind of realize, hey, there's this guy on the radar that's very hungry, and throw whatever you want at him, and he's going to chew it and spit it out brand new. You know, it's going to be something that no one's ever seen before. And not only was I new to the industry, I was also new to the country, because I wasn't living in Toronto the whole time. I wasn't living in Canada the whole time. I was traveling around the world because of my pro sport, right?
Right.
So it was a double whammy for me. It was a double edge sword for me here, where it was kind of like, okay, we have a new guy, new blood, new talent. Maybe we'll give him that one chance. And it was also, well, you know what? You wait in line because there's another 500 people that want that chance you're talking about, and they say they're as special as you are. And that's kind of what got me into making my own productions and my own movies.
Right.
Wow.
Awesome. And on that note, speaking of waiting for, you know, your big production, your big opportunity, The Briefcase, it was an 80s theme movie that became like a milestone for you as a star and a director. And the movie was your big screen debut in Hollywood as not only just a director, but the star of the film, and earned you several nominations and awards, notably Breakout Male Action Star. So you know, at the A.O.F. International Film Festival in Los Angeles. And so you got that big break that you was waiting for. Talk a little bit about The Briefcase, how you wrote it, what inspired you to write it, and what was it like kind of getting the accolades and nominations coming out of that as you had been waiting and persevering for so long for your moment?
You know, before The Briefcase, actually, there was a full feature film. It was more a documentary about martial arts and a huge scheme of corruption that was going on. And at the time, I was debating with a few friends if we should write a blog or if we should, come up with an article. And then I saw how phones were slowly taking over the television set. People had these devices in their hands. No one was gathering around TVs anymore. The family, everyone could be watching their own thing in their own room for all that matters. I said, okay, you know what? Let's make a short film about this documentary, and we'll document it. And my friends are like, are you sure? I was like, yes. One thing led to another. It became a feature film length, meaning it was an hour, 15 minutes, and it was based on a true story. Now, a lot of people at the beginning, of course, they're kind of like, yeah, what do you know? Why are you directing? If you direct, I can direct. If you act, I can act. If you produce, I can produce. And then they start, you know how it is, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
they think it's easy until they have to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. If it's so easy as you make it sound, then everyone would have done it, right? So they're like, okay, best of luck to you. I was like, thank you. Appreciate it. Much love. See you later. And I put it all together. It was really great. We had police cars from Silent Hill, the Warner Brothers production, I believe, at the time.
Okay. Wow.
We had, makeup artists from Die Hard doing our makeup. We had helicopters before the drones were a thing. We had 170 people volunteering their time for this production. And then we attracted UFC and one of their companies it's a clothing company that they are famous for. That's called Tap Out, and they had another one that was called Knockout or Knocked Out, Carried Out. Carried Out. And it was
you got to get that right, man, because you don't want to lose no endorsements.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh yeah, right. And it was Carried Out. It's Carried Out.
That's right.
And it took off, man. It took off. A lot of people got to see it, and I get it. You know what? You're going to have tons of people that talk and, I'm best friends with this director, this star, this whatever. I was like, I get it. Let me do my thing, see it, and then believe it.
Right.
And I did. And it took me 17 months because I had to work around people's schedules because no one was getting paid at the time. So if we had one scene with 100 people, I mean, you guys think about this for a second. You have a birthday party. You invite 20 people.
Right.
You know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah,
you know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have the one person, my fish drowned, and the other person, I got to help my dad, got to do this, got to move on, my bad, this and that. You know what I mean? So, for that to happen, I had to see it all the way through, 17 months later, and it created this massive buzz. It went up on IMDb, and people said, oh, damn, wow, it's on IMDb. How'd you do that? I've been trying to produce, I've been trying to direct with a budget of $10K, and here you come with a zero budget. You're already on IMDb. You had all these people on board.
Right.
It doesn't look like it's anything under $50K. And how did you do that?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's exactly it. People have this tendency to just kind of, knock you to the ground, and then they're like, why? And then when you succeed, they're like, wow, how?
That's
how
true.
do you do
That's true, man.
Yeah.
That is so true.
And that is so
right?
true.
And that's the biggest thing, you know what I mean, is the fact that once you wrap this production, you start earning the respect. And I get it, right? I've done this, I've done that. It's all talk. action is life.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Without
yeah.
action, it's all talk, right?
Right.
Action is what it's all about.
That's right.
I love you. I care for you. I can do this. Great. The talk sounds great.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. That's
Absolutely.
good stuff. That's good stuff.
And that's funny because we say that all
we
the
talk
time.
about that all the time.
We talk about
you know,
that
people,
all the time.
You know, they have a lot of empty promises and you know, hollow support and things like that. And like you said, when you continue to persevere and keep going and it comes to fruition, then it's how and why and how to do and this, that, and the other. Yeah. And so, and it's a lot of that, you know, in this industry, man, you know. And so that was awesome.
Yeah, because my thing is less talking, more doing.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Less talking, more doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, definitely
exactly that. So
congrats on that.
Yeah.
That was the dark, and we call that the dark side because it's the side that you don't get to see. Right. And you know, a lot of people got to see it. A lot of people got to fall in love with the cinematography, all the resources we were able to get together for nothing. Right. And I said, you know what? The inspiration behind this whole story and seeing the people inspired, I'm gonna make it a point that I'm gonna make a couple of more zero budget movies to inspire the film students that actually, you know, wanted to work for my production. And I was like, guys, I'm not a film dude. I'm not a film student. But they came up to me and they saw me like this Robin Hood. And I said, you know what? What's your story? And they said, I had all these ideas. I had all these scripts. And my teachers told me, without money, without a budget, without funding, I cannot pay for catering, for talent, for pre-production, for post-production, permit, you name it, everything from A to Z. And I was like, you know what? I get it. I understand. And it makes complete sense that money is going to buy you that convenience to just go there and get that permit. Go there and book this talent. Go there and get this camera. I get it. But you're going to get a lot more respect if you go out there knowing that you've got nothing and you create something.
That's right.
And I took it upon me as this kind of mission where I filmed the entire thing with a zero budget. I was on set of as a special skills extra at the time on what was it? It was Pacific Rim with Guillermo del Toro, the first one. And then a friend of mine called me. She said, "I've seen the trailer. Can I please do something with you? I'm transitioning from being a model to being an actor. So can you help me out with some demo reel footage?" I was like, "Sure." I wrote the script in a day and a half, 16 hours to be exact, and then polished it up in the rest of that day and a half. And I called her up, cast her for the character, and she said, "I can't do it." And I was like, "What? What do you mean? I have the script right now. The entire damn thing was written for you." and so anyways, I recast it, we shot it, and that was the briefcase.
Right.
Okay.
And it turned out phenomenal.
Yes, it did.
It turned out great because it brought back, that nostalgia feeling of the 80s, the cheesy one-liners, the color grading, the oranges, all that kind of stuff. It was great. It was such a blast, and we pushed ourselves beyond the barriers for that one, too. We had a car chase. People were like, "How the heck did you do that?" We had a car exploding. We had gunplay, and for the trailer of that, we were able to get in touch with John James, who was amazing. He became a great friend, who also is known for making the movie voices. One couch, that guy.
Yeah.
And he
One man.
did the trailer voice for us. He was great. He was great.
Yeah.
Fantastic guy. He did that. He did the trailer for the voice, and he really, 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 kicked that trailer out of the water doing that voice for our trailer. And really, really became good friends. We kind of connected and worked together multiple times after that. But that was the story of the briefcase. And then we had 2 amazing screenings, completely sold out, and all the proceeds we donated to Sick Kids Hospital. Intensive care unit.
You get the bell.
Nice. You get the bell for that. There it is.
And you did all of that. And you did all of that zero budget.
Yeah, and speaking of zero budget, because you also did Dead End on a zero budget, and not only that, but he had a predominantly all-female cast. Who Run the World? Girls. Tell our listeners a little bit about that one.
That's right. Well, let me tell you something.
Yes, I like that.
Look, honestly two of my biggest heroes, my mother and my grandmother. And
Yes.
they're females.
Yeah.
So I've seen resilience and strength and perseverance, endurance. I've seen it all. And it was one of those things where women have to be appreciated, no matter where they were from, no matter age, no matter anything. You know, I really saw that they were lacking in the industry. It was always overshadowed, overpowered.
Yeah.
But I knew it was the same thing in a way where if they were given a chance, they could prove themselves.
Right.
You know, and I said, okay. At the time, I was filming a movie in Malaysia with Brandon Routh and Vincent Ward, and it was such a great cast. And a producer from LA talks to me. He says, "So tell me, Taz, what have you been working on?" And I said, "Well, you know, I just finished shooting this short film with females." He's like, "Tell me more." And I was like, "Female assassin, right?" And each assassin has her own quality, her own skill.
Right.
And he's like, "I love it. Okay, so what's your plan?" And I said, "Well, make a spin-off a TV show or maybe make a movie." He's like, "Okay, so here's the plan. I can give you 20 mil. And then my partner's coming from LA. He can give you 20 mil. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a feature and then we're going to make a spin-off of a TV show." Gets on the phone. And he's like, "Hey, babe, how's it going?" Da, da, da. I think his wife or girlfriend gives me the phone, and it's Scarlett Johansson.
Oh.
And I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" Super sweet, super nice. And he's like, "This super talented man in front of me. He's one of the co-stars of this movie that I'm producing here in Malaysia in Pinewood Studios. That at the same time, I want you to talk to him because he has a movie that he's going to be shooting. He shot a proof of concept, a short film. And I think you're going to be great for it." And I spoke to her, and she ate it up. She was all about it. Female empowerment, the female kick-ass assassin. But her agent turned it down because of Marvel. She was doing the Avengers.
She
had just signed on the Avengers. And her character was the assassin, right? So the
Marvel,
conflict of interest. So that didn't fly that way. You know, but going back to the roots of that story is the fact that I said, okay, well, I spoke to a lot of people here in terms of funding, a lot of people in the U.S. about funding, and they're all like, "Who's the lead? Oh, it's a female? No, it can't be done. You know, we need a guy, but she could be like that, like second in command, or she could be like that damsel in distress." And I said, "Man, you know what? No, I see a little bit more. You know, come on. No, you know, it's about being bankable. If we put a picture of a female, who's going to go watch it? You know, it needs to be at least like half this, half that." I still didn't like it. You know, so I had an amazing crew. I had producers, I had wardrobe, I had writers, writing supervisors. I had my co-star and the other star. All of them were female, and it revolved around being female assassins that were complete kick ass. Right. And that was the story. And you know, we put it together. We screened it. People loved it. It was great. And it was such a milestone. I found that afterwards for a lot of those grant companies that I called and grant corporations or institutions that you reach out to and get a grant to make a movie or film grant here and there. They changed their game after that conversation I had with them. And the next thing you know, there's Atomic Blonde. The next thing you know, there's Captain Marvel. There's Wonder Woman coming out. And I loved it. I loved it, man. I really did, because I was like, there you go. That's it. Check it out. You know?
Right.
And so it was one little rip of water, but I'm pretty sure if I did it, multiple people, it caused it, any rip that caused that wave, and that wave caused a change. You know?
Well, you know what? You get 2 bells.
You get 2 bells.
Yes, thank you so much for standing up for the ladies, because I'm an actress myself, and they're always trying to stick us in the kitchen, put us with the babies, we're the wife, we're the mother, we're the girlfriend. We want to be in those roles where we're kicking behind. You know, I want to be in those roles where I'm blowing up. I like to blow up stuff too. You know, I like to shoot stuff too.
All right, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk after this. Trust me.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That's it right there.
Yes, I want to be an assassin. Learn how to shoot a gun.
That's right, absolutely. And you know what? I love the, you know, the women empowerment thing, because it's a movie. It's telling a story, but there's a bigger theme in terms of equal opportunity, and women empowerment and so forth and so on. And that is just so great. And I remember watching, I want to say, one of the Fast and Furious movies, and they had the scene where the two women, the character that plays Letty was fighting the other young lady in the subway, and I mean, they were rolling down the steps.
That's what I'm
like,
talking
that's
about.
what I'm talking
That's
about
what
right
I'm
there.
talking about.
Not all this. I broke my fingernail.
Oh my goodness, the
God.
children.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to cook dinner for my husband.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'll take care of the
awesome,
babies.
man.
You go do the hunting.
Right.
I'll take care of the
Yeah,
babies.
come
You go
on.
hunt.
Yeah.
Right?
Nobody wants to do
I mean,
that.
for this, for Dead End, it was really cool because one of my friends, she was breaking into acting, and she's known for being a bikini model.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? You have a certain preconceived notion or vision. People see you in a certain light, and I'm going to take you from what people see you as and associate you with, and I'm going to convert you in one of the most, let's just say, a strength symbol now.
Right.
And I trained her for 7 days. I'm not gonna ruin who wins the fight, but 7 days that I trained her, and she was falling. She was doing wall flips. She was throwing me to the ground. And what I also did is I made sure that during the filming process there was not one single camera shake, because I wanted everyone to understand that she put in the work. I'm not shaking the camera to make it cover the flaws. I'm not shaking the camera for you to understand that there's a fight but not see the techniques. I kept it steady as hell because I wanted people to see it, and I wanted people to understand it was her doing it from scratch, that she was seen as this bikini model or bikini, and now look at her kicking ass and throwing me to the ground, throwing me into the wall, making me bleed, punching my face. I get her in a headlock. She escapes with a wall flip. People are like, how long have you been training for? Right. And when she said it was under 2 weeks, people's jaws dropped to the ground.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's it right
That's
there.
it. That's it. I'm coming to
you know
Toronto.
What I mean?
I'm coming.
Boom.
Love it.
That's
Love
awesome.
it.
That
is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome. Because we
I'm going to send you a
to
behind the scenes training of a before and after, you guys, and you guys can watch it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'll let you guys be the judge. I'm not going to sell what I did. I'm not going to let you guys judge it. And hey, you guys.
Oh, we already know it's good. We already know it's good, man. Yeah, we already know it's good. I mean, once again, man, like I said, your resume is off the chart, man. And so, yeah, definitely excited about, seeing it and things like that. And so you also talked about, of course, how you had the opportunity to work with Jackie Chan. You did stunts for Jackie. What was that experience? What was that? Tell us a little bit about that.
It's really, really funny because with Jackie, it was, I got on a set with him before because they were filming a movie called The Tuxedo here in Toronto.
Right.
And I said, okay, let's get going. I trained with his stunt team at the time. It was a completely different generation than the one I recently worked with. And, they taught me lots of stuff. They taught me lingo. They're like, listen, this is good for real life. This is good for camera. This is how it's done. This is kind of the rhythm that Jackie Chan likes. This is like the more northern Western style. That's more like in Hollywood movies. This is the Hong Kong style. So I really appreciated that. But then the scenes that we rehearsed for were cut out.
Okay.
So that didn't happen when we got that initial training. And then when we just recently shot Project Extraction, I was cast to be an actor playing Rebel Leader. And everything was good to go. They booked my tickets. Everything was beautiful. 18 hours before my flight, I get a call saying, Taz, listen, we got a problem here. The director thinks you look too young. I was like, what?
Oh, my God.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. So you booked the tickets, you confirmed the contract, all that kind of stuff before, and you guys never got to see my reel or never got to see my pictures, or it's not like I, used some magic youth fountain formula thing here to just like go backwards in time, what just happened? So they're like, listen, we still want to use you. Let's figure a way. We'll give you a call in a couple of hours. And they did. And they said, okay, well, Tilo Aspect, who plays the mercenary, that's the antagonist against Jackie Chan and John Cena, needs a muscle, does the dirty work and does the fighting. So he's Paddock. How about if you're Paddock's mercenary? Is that cool with you? I was like, tell me a little bit more. What's going to be happening? They're like, you get to fight Jackie Chan, John Cena. I was like, I'm down.
I know that's right. Yeah, that's it. That's it right there. Yeah.
I was like, I'm in. Now, it doesn't end there, right? So I'm excited. I get there, I fly over, and, you know, we're getting ready, getting makeup done, hair done, everything. We get to the set, and then they're like, okay, cut. All right, let's bring the stunt team in. And they're like, okay, Taz, you can just relax for now. I was like, hold on a second. Time out here. Time out. I do my own stunts. What's going on?
Right.
Wow.
I was like, no. You know, you're an actor. You could hurt yourself. You could do this. I'm like, listen, I get it. From a producing side, I get it. You see the Jackie Chan, the Tom Cruise. You see a lot of those people that do their own stunts. Producers are always holding their heart and their eyes and their head because they don't want them to get hurt. Because production is going to shut down if they, as the main, get hurt. So I get it. But at the same time, this is why people tune in and they go see them and they watch them and they've earned the respect and love of the audience. So like, no one's going to take that away from me. So it was a little back and forth, but I managed to be able to get into at least half of my scenes.
Okay.
And actually go in and do my thing. But it was a blast. It was such a blast working with Jackie Chan and the team. And you see how he is. You see the humility and you see the dedication.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys and myself, I'm pretty sure have heard somebody that in their 20s, early 20s, man, I'm so old. I'm so old for this crap. I'm too old now. I wish I started when I was young. And then you go and see somebody like Jackie Chan, 60, still bouncing, jumping, sitting upright, good posture. You know, you could hear him across the set with no mic, right? With no megaphone, none of that kind of stuff. You know he's in shape, and you know he is where he is because of a reason. And because he's put in the time, he's put in the work, he's put in the heart, and he's dedicated. And best of all, he never forgets where he came from. The humility is there, so he leads by example. You know what I mean? It's going to rain. He jumps up with a tarp on top of whatever. He's like, hey, you grab the other side, pull. And somebody else, pull. He, with a decking command, he could snap his fingers. He's going to have 5 to 50 people around him. Yes, big brother. What do you want? What do you need?
Right.
But the best thing is when you lead by example, because it creates that feel that we're a family.
Right.
That just because I'm a star in your background doesn't make you or me less or more human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll never forget when he was swatting flies, you know, for us because they were bugging us when we were eating, you know, during the lunchtime. He was walking around with one of those electric swats and like a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's another time where, you know, just to show you, he doesn't waste any resources. We were shooting in a desert location. So we had coolers, ice coolers, where all the drinks, the pop, everything was, right? So when the ice eventually melted, he would take that and empty it out in a water dispenser so we could use that melted ice, which is now water, to wash our hands.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just shows you a little something.
Yeah. It you know, and that was one of the things I immediately kind of saw about him when I had the chance to meet him. He was so very, very humble, so very, very down to earth. And I'm sitting up there like, this is an international, legendary, iconic superstar. And he was just so personable and so humble and so down to earth. And like you talk about leading by example, you know, I mean, we have heard stories of actors and entertainers with way less credentials than Jackie Chan that would, you know, show up to set late and, you know, kind of with their prima donna type diva attitude. But one thing I learned about Jackie, you know, because like I had a chance to meet him at our league basketball, playing professional basketball over in Taiwan, and he was the guest star to put during our Christmas. We had a Christmas party, and he was invited to put the star, you know, basketball on top, and they had this big Christmas tree made out of about 500 basketballs, and they put him on this crane, and the one thing I saw about him was that he was so professional. Like the time that they told him to be there, he was actually there earlier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just mingling and all this stuff. I'm over there eating fruit. I turn around and see Jackie Chan standing there. The first thing I started looking for is something to write with because I'm getting his autograph. Could not find a piece of paper, so I turned my paper plate over after I whipped down my fruit. And one of the people from the press gave me a mark and he signed the back of my plate. I shook his hand. And the Taiwanese paper snapped the picture. Unbeknown to me, I get the paper the next day, and I go down to the corner store and buy at least 20 copies and mail them home from mom and dad because I just met, like, you know, my favorite action, iconic, legendary martial artist, man. And he was just so humble. Like, he made people around him feel like you were important. You know, some stars, you can't get that close to them to even shake their hand, you know?
You can't. Some stars you can't.
I get it when it's time to get to work.
Right,
you know what I mean? You're in the zone, and it's kind of like, listen, there's a time to hang out and to chill, and a time to actually just get to work, get that done, get out of the way, not break character, be professional, then we'll hang out. Then we'll go get the drink. Then we'll get the food. Then we'll talk about stuff irrelevant to the set and to work. Right? But when you're there to work, you're hired for a reason. You have a certain amount of time or daylight, even if you're relying on daylight for a scene, you're not there to waste it, right? So you're there to boom, 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 get these scenes done ASAP, right? And that's one of the most beautiful things to see Jackie do, and see a lot of people do, and that's the biggest thing, is the fact that humility is what makes you an A star or makes you a B. It's not because, you know, listen, we're going to be spending 16 hours on a set together, 12 hours on a set. That's half a freaking day. If you're not going to have the attitude, the right attitude to hang out with you and become my family for this amount of time, for 2 months, for 3 months, for 2 weeks even, come on. Do I really want to hire you? Right? So this becomes the mantra. This becomes a mentality where people are not hiring you just because of your skill. It's skill, but also your character. Are you a diva? Or are you going to be like, oh, listen, we have 5 minutes that we need, but it's 6 o'clock, and I said 6, we're going to wrap. Is it cool with you guys to wrap at 6:05?
Right.
Team players, this is where the team effort, this is where the team mentality comes in. I don't want my team to go down because of one selfish decision. Right? So this is where it's like, it's going to take 5 minutes, let's do this. You guys are in, let's do it. Boom, we're in. Right? All for one. But if you have that one person that's like, nope, sorry, 6:01, call my agent. No, 6:01, nope, I'm not here. Nope, we'll finish it off tomorrow. Right?
Yeah,
I've been there, done that, seen it. And it doesn't get you far. You know, you see a lot of people that have careers that span over decades for a reason. You see people that come out and they become one-hit wonders for a reason too. Right? Or somebody that starts after somebody else, and then people fall in love with that person because they fall in love with their personality, their character. And Jackie's one of the prime examples where it's kind of like, you know, where they say it's better for you not to meet your heroes because you don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With Jackie, I'm pretty sure when you met Jackie, it's one of those things. Oh man, I'm so glad he turned out exactly like how I thought he would.
Right. Yeah. Man, I'm so glad.
You know what I mean? Other people.
I'm glad that you're sharing this, man, because, you know, sometimes it's not going to always be your giftedness, your talent. I mean, you need to have those things in place, but a lot of times it's going to be being humble, being down to earth, being thankful, being grateful, you know, being professional, of course, but being a good person, because on set, you spend a lot of time with people, and really, these writers, directors, producers, they do not want to be around people who are headaches, negative vibes, you know, because they got to spend 12, sometimes 18, sometimes 20-something hours with you. And the task at hand is already hard enough with all the various different wheels that need to turn on a set. And so I'm really happy that you're pointing that out, because talent and giftedness is only going to take you so far. Eventually they could actually wean you out. If they say enough is enough. Yeah,
because if you're walking on set acting like a diva, you know, they can get rid of you.
Well, prima donna,
diva-ish attitude. No, we can't work with that. We can't work with that.
There's always going to be someone better looking, someone that's faster, can jump higher, can do whatever. But your personality, that's really what's irreplaceable. You know, this becomes like your superpower.
Right. Absolutely. Now, I got to ask this. I mean, you're spending time traveling the world. You was over in Taiwan and things like that. Are you very fluent in Chinese? You know, how is your? I'm sure you speak a few languages, or maybe. But how was your Chinese prior to going? And I'm sure you're probably a lot better fluently now. Talk a little bit about the language and things like that.
Man, languages, love languages. I speak 6.5 of them, write and read 5 of them. Chinese is one of those things that I picked up when I was younger through my kung fu training, and to be specific, it was Mandarin. And that was great until my shifu died, so I didn't really use it as much. And then there was a trip in 2011 where it was my first time going to Hong Kong. And I was very excited. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go there and I'm going to speak Mandarin and polish it up and speak it again. It's been a while. And I go there and everything was Cantonese. And
I got you.
And my friends were like, oh, no, don't worry. They speak English. I was like, yeah, but they speak English in the U.S. and they speak English in Canada. So, I want to pick up Canto. So Canto's Cantonese. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let's do this. And I walked around with a cheat sheet, and everywhere I went, I wrote down a word. I wrote it phonetically in English, and I just said it out loud, and it meant, what it was supposed to mean in Cantonese. So, for example, if you were like, my son and guy, so I would write that as in M-Y, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's how I was too. Yeah,
and basically that's what I did. And the first day, I got 99 words down.
Right.
And I was like, I don't care how ridiculous I sound, how bad it may sound, but let's do this. I got on a bus and I sat all the way in the back seat, and I knew my stop was coming up, and I was like, oh man. And I was by myself. I was like, guys, I'm taking the public transit, and I'm gonna see if the guy actually gets what I'm saying. You guys gotta pick me up from like the other side of town, right?
Yeah.
And anyways, I took a deep breath and I was like, what am I doing? Maybe I should go up and whisper to the driver. But I was sitting all the way in the back, and I was like, and I yelled out, hey, next stop, please. And he's like, hi. I was like, oh, yes, you got it.
Yeah, man.
He got it.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That was great.
I remember that too, man. Because like I put forth a concerted effort to learn the language. Of course, when I was over there, could speak it a lot fluently.
Yeah.
I was always asking my teammates, how do you say this? How do you say this? And Bukachi means you're welcome. And I would write boo as in B-O-O, C-H-E-E, you know what I mean?
Wow, yeah, that's a good.
But it helped me learn it. It
Yeah.
helped me remember. I had a little pad and pencil and stuff. But one thing I learned too when I was over in China, I love. First of all, I got to say this: I love Asian culture, Taiwan, Hong Kong. It's so much history there, so much culture there, and they really love it when you make an effort to try to learn and partake. Like I can eat with chopsticks, like I can eat with an American fork. You know what I mean? And they just really respect that. Yeah. And to them, it constitutes being humble. And, they really, really respect that when you are really trying hard to, just learn the culture and try to relate to them according to their culture. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And things like that. Yeah. And so it's such a great experience, man. And I try to tell the young people there's a big word out there that's just waiting for you to take hold of it. It's out there. Yeah. And I'm a living witness. You're a living witness. Nikki's a living witness, man.
Yeah, because I can eat with chopsticks. It took me a long time to learn it, though. I kept dropping my food. But you get hungry enough, you will use them bad boys and pick up that food.
But can you catch a fly with chopsticks like Tazito?
There you go. There you go.
Oh, you guys okay. Before we get off the phone, you guys got to remind me to tell you the noodle story with Jackie Chan. Okay?
Wow.
You gotta remind me that. I'll tell you about that story when we were on set.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, rumor has it.
Remind me near the end. We'll do that.
Okay.
Rumor has it that he caught a fly with chopsticks, and then ate with the noodles. That's the rumor I heard.
What?
But we'll let.
Yeah,
We'll let Taz tell it.
Okay.
I might mess it up.
Yeah, I might.
But that was the rumor I heard, that he actually caught a fly with chopsticks and then went on and ate the noodles with the chopsticks.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it turned out.
Yeah, I may be sick with
it. Might be
story.
that might be another story. But that's it.
Yeah, we'll see.
With one chopstick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I may be sick at the end of that
story. Yeah, man. That's awesome.
Oh, you go there fast, man.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I may be sick. We'll see. Now I want to go back a little bit, because you also mentioned that you were a model. Now, you wasn't modeling for Calvin Klein underwear, were you?
What?
He's like, what?
Told me that. I say what? I actually right now, because that's all I have on for this interview. It's not a video interview. Because y'all can see me right now. I'm just putting a shirt on. Yeah. True story.
Wow, that's funny.
Yep.
That's funny.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's just so awesome.
Yeah, good time.
Yeah. Now,
it's a very foreign concept. Very, very foreign concept. Standing there in my underwear in front of a dude with a camera, and I'm just like, oh, just to relax. So I was like, yeah, okay, working on it here. my brief. I got this.
Yeah, awesome, man.
Wow.
And, I mean, and also, man, like I of course, follow your story, read your bio. During the pandemic, man, you wasn't wasting any time. I mean, you were in the lab. I mean, you wrote 5 new scripts. You started an online self-tape casting for roles. Mm-hmm. You also started the early beginning, stages of telling people on your live Instagram. You encourage people to just do it. You're telling them how you did this, how you did that. Talk a little bit about, how you just kind of went into the lab during this pandemic when everything was on hold and on freeze. You come up with these 5 scripts, and then talk about your Instagram live segment where you do questions and answers. You do free seminars. Yeah. You talk from action fighting, the choreography, the film routines, acting classes, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's so fantastic how you and you do it for free, man. You're paying it forward. That's why you're so blessed. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Right. The biggest thing is looking at the positive. You can look at the cup half full or half empty. Mm-hmm. So at this point, as a kid, I've been through war. Mm-hmm. And I've seen uncertainty. I've seen times where you didn't know if you're going to make it the next day. I've seen times where there was no Wi-Fi, there was no Netflix, there was no cell phone. You couldn't even check on someone that was right across from where you live. Mm-hmm. So to have Netflix and to have the Wi-Fi and the Instagrams and to have the selfies and what you're doing at home and the Zooms, it's already a blessing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the fact that you're just asked to be home is not a game changer or anything, but really, it's when I started seeing a lot of my friends that were, panicking, and a lot of people that I knew that were kind of spiraling out of control. And I was like, listen, a lot of people tell you got to be strong, you got to be this. It's perfectly fine to break, it's perfectly fine to fall, but don't stay down. That's where I want you to get started. When you hit the ground, that's it. You can't go underground. You're hitting the ground. The next step up for you is look up and get up. Right? It's okay for you to panic and to feel like, whoa, what just happened? This rude awakening. Mm-hmm. But also it's a great chance for this rude awakening for everything that you always used to use that word busy or I don't have time. Now you have no excuse. All the stuff you put on the back burner, including myself, because I was flying around too much or whatever it was. Now I have more time to spend with my family, or now I have more time to go back and visit these scripts or these contracts or these works that I had all around me, or get down to a book that I've been trying to finish for the last 2 years. Right. So that's the biggest thing. And I sat down with these people and I was like, listen, we have our own battles and we have our own ways, but use this to modify yourself. Mm-hmm. But also use it to find really, are the things in your life, in your circle, as valuable as you thought they were. Right. So it's a very good chance for you to kind of rebuild yourself, not break yourself, or break yourself and rebuild yourself. Mm-hmm. Completely up to you which way you want to go. You want to reverse engineer or forward engineer, completely up to you. But think of something, there's so much creativity. If you're an actor, right? Typically as actors, we're like Muppets in a way, where we're like, Muppets and puppets, where we have a director, walk faster, do this, don't do that, fade this way, try this, okay, now try this. So for a lot of people that are strictly into acting, I'm like, listen, I guarantee if the times were different, the surrounding, the setting was different, and I asked you, what would your ideal role be? You would probably tell me it was something else than what you auditioned for. Yet writing, take that pen. I know you're not a writer. Take that pen, write a few ideas, shoot it, watch a movie, and redo some of the scenes from your favorite movies, like a self-tape, like a free audition, like a free practice. That way, that acting muscle is always going to keep fresh, stay fresh and lean and strong. You know, so when things open up again, you are not going from oh man, I didn't stretch my muscles, to muscles being the acting muscle, right? So it's just a matter of communicating with people and telling people, listen, this isn't the end of the world. If anything, this is a very good time for you to stop everything you thought may have been important at the time, reevaluate and reassess a lot of the stuff that was going on in your head that you thought was priority. If you had a business that didn't have an online side, guess what? You're going to be struggling. Go back and put an e-commerce site, put an online version of everything you're selling, because now you see how important everything's going online. Stores are closing because people can't go into the store, but also people are relying on convenience, right? Why do I have to drive to the other side of the city when I get free shipping and it's going to be here in the next day? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. So it's a very good chance for me to kind of bring that light to them and tell them, but also share that experience with them. The fact that I've been through war and I've seen that when we had a time where all the lights had to be, they called it the blackout period, where all the lights had to be off because the airplanes flying above would see everything as flat. If the lights are off. If the lights are on, then you see the three dimensions. You see, there's a tower here, a mall here, a strip there, and everything else, right? So I'm like, I've seen it. I've seen when it was a scary time, right? For this, all you got to do is sit home, watch a few movies. For you to do this and do, you know what? Go and learn a skill. Go and spend time with your family. Just do nothing for a few days. Switch your engines off. Reboot yourself. You know, find something to do. This is not the end. In fact, this is just going to be the beginning of a new, fresh version of you. You're going to be the 2.0 when you come out of this. Your business is going to be 2.0 when you come out of this. Look at it from that mindset, right?
Love it.
And they kind of liked it a lot better that way when I gave it this way. And I was checking in with a lot of people, thanks to social media, you know, anywhere from Turkey, India, China, Taiwan, you know, all around the world, just being able to check in, hey, what are you guys doing? You know, how have you been spending your time during this quarantine? Any movies? Who's been watching this show? Who's doing this? You know, who's reading that book? And it became a very cool sense of community instead of us just being divided at home and just kind of, you know, especially those that were in quarantine by themselves. I get it. It would be very boring, right? But again, you have the blessing of being able to just, at a touch of a button, voice or video call somebody, right?
Yeah.
So.
Great stuff.
He got to get the bell.
You get the bell. That's it. It's about building community.
And the crowd goes wild.
That is great stuff.
I gotta hire this crowd. I gotta hire that group, that bunch of groupies you guys have.
That sounds amazing. That's awesome, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Well, listen, Taz, man, we gonna definitely have to do a part 2.
Yeah,
this has been fantastic. Been a lot of fun, man. You've been a great guest, man, and thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing with us and our listeners around the world. We definitely want to hear that Jackie Chan behind the scenes story.
Have to hear that story.
And I know our fans out there want to hear that too. So yeah,
definitely.
All right, so we'll get to the story.
Yeah.
Okay. Day 1 on the set with Jackie. You know, my driver drops me off. I'm getting ready, makeup done, hair done, everything. And it's time for breakfast. I go have some eggs and toast, everything good. And then the car pulls in. Big boss, big brother's here, Jackie. He comes out, poor guy. You could see his body's taking a beating. It's early in the morning, so knees are relatively stiff. He comes in, everyone, good morning, big brother. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning. And he asks for a very Cantonese-style breakfast, which is noodles, beef, and veggies. And it's kind of like a Chinese broccoli on the side. So sure enough, kitchen, they start prepping it for him. He goes to get ready. He puts his wardrobe on, comes out, joins us on, you know, regular seats, and he sits down next to us. And his dish comes right in front of him, and he's ready, hot sauce, and he adds a little bit of hot sauce. And he stirs it in, tries, nope, not spicy enough. He adds some more, not spicy enough. Add half of the spicy oil bottle in. So now his soup base, that actual liquid, looks like lava. Okay, it's orange as hell, orange and red. You could barely see the noodles and the beef floating in there. And he tries one, and he goes, his tongue's sticking out. He's like, trying to air his mouth. It's super hot, and he's like, oh, it's so spicy, I'm not going to eat it, right? So he looks over at the person in front of him, the person that cooked the meal, and she's like, no way, big brother, I'm not touching your food. And he goes around, he asks me, I'm like, nope, thank you, I'm good, just had my breakfast. Goes around for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then Spence, who's John Cena's stunt double, a friend of mine, I look at him and I'm like, Spence, Jackie's been doing that for a while, and I know, we got to get the show going, but he's not going to waste the food. He will not dump that food. Somebody's going to eat it. I was like, so it's you and I, rock, paper, scissors. Winner, safe. Loser, eats a damn bowl of lava. He's like, dude, I'm down. I was like, okay, right? All right, here we go, Spence. Rock, paper, scissors. I do scissors. Wow. He does stone or rock, and I'm like, oh no. Okay. All right, I got this. Jackie, I'll have it. Are you sure it's spicy? I'm like,
he said, are you sure it's spicy?
I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay. And he brings the bowl over to me, and he places it right in front of me on the table. And he stands right next to me, like something my dad would. And I try the first noodle, and I tell you, man, I never realized my nose, my eyes, my ears, and my forehead could all sweat and steam and bleed at the same time. Right?
Wow.
Oh, man. So I'm standing there. I was like, oh, man, is that my nose running? Yeah. Okay. So Jackie's standing next to me. I think he realized what was up, right? He looks at me. He's like, spicy? I was like, no. So I answered him in Cantonese, actually. I was like, no, it's not spicy at all. He's like, okay, good. Right? He goes over to the other side, asks for another bowl of noodles to be made, brand new. This one's not spicy. And he sits right next to me, right? He goes over, he gets preserved eggplants, and he's like, this is good. Put the fire out. I was like, oh, God. I was like, I don't even want to imagine any fire going out at this time, not from my mouth, my ears, or anywhere else later on during the day. I was like, right? So he's sitting next to me, and he starts to do this. He's like, not so spicy. I'm like, Jackie, way to rub it in my face. Anyways, I figured this way, and I hope he doesn't hear this. I figured this way where basically I grabbed the noodle with my chopstick, held it up so all the oil would go back into the soup base, and I was just eating the noodle, right? So it kind of filters it out a little. Right. And then that was it, done. That was it. That was done. And that was the Jackie noodle story. And then I gave him preserved eggplant to eat later on. And, so that was it. It was. And my friends are like, oh, my God, you just ate Jackie Chan's noodles. Oh, these are famous
That's
noodles.
awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I know. They're having such a great time.
Yeah.
And,
wow.
Yeah.
You ate
and
them noodles.
He also caught a fly next to us while we were doing that.
With chopsticks, right?
No, with his hand, bare hand.
Oh, because I heard the rumor that he could do that.
Okay.
But he did it in Karate Kid. But I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he could catch chopsticks with like a fly with a chopstick.
If I even smell
it was also one
sauce.
chopstick. It was just one chopstick. It wasn't two chopsticks.
Okay.
That's Jackie Chan level. Just one chopstick.
Okay, yeah.
Because if I even smell hot sauce, I'm done. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, wow.
Oh, man, that's hot sauce.
Wow.
That is a great story, man. Great story. Well, Taz, listen, man, we definitely, like I said, we're going to have to make this a part 2. This was so much fun. You had such a fascinating, intriguing
You guys
story.
are amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
you
so
are
much.
too, man.
Yes.
And listen, we would love to work with you, and we will travel to Canada, Toronto, Malaysia. Actually, I've been to Malaysia before, but wherever we got to go, man. Look, we will. Travel is no barrier, and we definitely would love to work with you. One day soon, and man, we just really appreciate you coming on the show and just sharing. Of yourself. You really not only just shared your story, but you really just shared of yourself. And we felt that. I know our listeners felt that.
Yeah.
And as we looked at you as already family because of Diana, but as our slogan always say, once you come on the Kevin and Nikee show,
you're family.
Yeah.
Woo! Love it. Love
yes,
it.
Man.
thank you.
Love it. You guys are awesome. I
Thank
really
you so
appreciate
much.
you guys.
Yeah, no
Thank
doubt,
you.
man. And continued success to you, man. And, we definitely going to keep in touch with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you guys have a wonderful day. Let's do this again. Sometime the sooner the better.
Yeah,
Yes,
awesome.
absolutely.
That'll work.
Absolutely.
That'll work.
Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right. Take care, man.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Man, wasn't he awesome?
Awesome sauce.
That was just awesome.
That's
And that
awesome,
story, let me tell you something. I wouldn't have ate them noodles.
I think I would. I think I would have did just to impress Jackie.
No.
You know, I might have passed out
Jackie
afterwards.
would have
but
been taking me to the hospital. I'm telling you right now, Jackie Chan would have been, hold up. Nikee got to go to the hospital. We got to take her right now.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
yeah.
No, I can't do hot sauce.
Yeah.
I used to a long time ago, but now I can't. I can't do it. Even if I smell hot sauce, it just makes me sick.
I think I would have did. I think
You
I would have
done it?
Well, I would have done it, but I would have did the same thing Taz did, like kind of let the hot stuff
I was
drain
going to say,
off.
probably let the hot sauce
Yeah.
drain off and eat the noodles like Taz did. I probably would have done that. But
Yeah.
to sit there and
Yeah.
just eat no. Nah.
That was just great interview. A lot of fun,
Great
man.
interview, man. A lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Great stories, and the theme that you pull out of it is one of perseverance, never
Yep.
giving up, having a dream, going
Yep.
after your dream.
Yep.
Never quitting. Creating your own content. Like so many different positive things that came out of there that you can glean from.
Yeah.
And man, he's been in circles with some of the best in the world. It don't get no bigger and better than Jackie Chan, man.
And I like how he took if out
I like
of
that
the
too.
vocabulary.
Yeah.
He took if out and he
It
said
said
when.
when. Yeah.
Because we always say take can't out of the vocabulary and say I can do it.
That's right.
So he took if out and he said when.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yep.
I'm going to use that.
Yeah, that's it.
I like that. There is no such thing as if, but when.
Right.
When I get it. I like that. I like that a lot.
That's great.
I like
man.
that.
That is just it's really inspiring. And of course, there's longevity in terms of dues that had to be paid to get where he is. Yeah. And so, of course, on the show you get the fast forward story. But for somebody out there listening, including ourselves, that's inspirational because it makes you sit back and say, "Hey, my big day is coming too." Yeah. Because it's one of the things where he's the living proof that your big day can come if you just stay the course, stay the path, don't quit, stay positive. And I love how he touched on everything. I don't want to pick one thing over the other, but that personality, character, because that can sometimes, especially here in America, we know you got the people who are, they're bigger than life, and sometimes they can have that prima donna mentality, the diva mentality, and that's one thing we loved about Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan came out superstar. Yeah. He got on that microphone and he said he thanked everybody.
He said thank you.
I want to thank everybody. Halle Berry did the same thing. She did the same thing. She thanked everybody. So I'm sitting up here like, wait a minute, I'm grateful to shake your hand. You know what I'm saying? She thanked everybody for coming out. She really, really appreciated everyone. And she's a big star, but then you do have those superstars who just think, okay, I know it starts at 4, but I'm not going to get there till 7, 8, kind of like that. Man.
I like how he recognized women,
right. I like that too.
With his predominantly female cast, taking us from the kitchen, taking us away from, being the mother, the wife, the girlfriend, and different things like that. Yeah. And he's putting us in these powerful positions. I want to blow some stuff up too.
But you know what?
I want to shoot that M16 too. I want to do all that too.
Well, you already shoot the M16s.
Well, I did, but I want to do some more though. I want to blow some stuff up.
Right, I hear you. But I'm gonna tell you, man, and I think I caught this when he was sharing that. He talked about the movies that came after that. Yeah. So his movie was a trailblazing film to say, you know what, women can kick butt too.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
That's right. Great, man. That's just great, man. And like I said, I can see why he's so blessed because you can tell he's a selfless person.
He is.
You're doing Instagram Live. You're giving out information. Information is powerful. Knowledge is powerful. How to do it, where to go do it. It's just so powerful, and he's doing it for free.
Yeah, and these are these are the people that you want to work with.
But and you know what? Not only that though, it's kind of like we all know that there's a lot of negative people in the industry. Yeah. And sometimes, not in all cases, you can come in contact with the I'm a word it like this, not so positive people that you kind of start to say, well, where are the positive people? Where are the positive Where are the selfless people? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it just seems like that's part of the grind too. Yeah. You know, coming in contact with negative people that don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to share information. They don't even want to share casting notice that they can't use.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And then here he is investing in people's career. Like he took that young lady for 2 whole weeks, right, and he trained her. You know what I mean? That's an investment. He's investing in her. That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm going to say this, and I'm not ashamed to say this, is after talking to him, connecting with Diana, Stuart Yee, all of them gave me hope that there are more good people. And I actually shared this with Diana on Facebook. They all have given me more hope that there are more good people in the world than there is bad. Even in this entertainment industry, it's just that the negativity gets promoted more. It does. You hear the hard stories, or you're confronted with it more. Yeah. And this is the impact that they have had on me, maybe unbeknown. And like I said, I did share it with Diana. And it also makes you say, when you're so accustomed to the people that are envious, the people that are jealous, that don't want to see you succeed, you start to look at them and say, what is motivating y'all to be different in a world where that's not the norm? Exactly. You know, but then again, we can look at ourselves. We try to be positive. We try to share. We try to give. Yeah. You know, and we're waiting for our big day to come back to us. But here's the thing: because we've thrown seeds out there, I already know it's on its way back. Yeah. It's just a matter of when. When. Because I believe in life principles that you're going to get back what you put out. Exactly. The good that you put out, going to come back. The negativity that you put out, it's going to come back. And we put so much good. We've helped so many people. Yeah, we have. Some people we've helped. They took it and kept running. And when they got in a position to help us, they didn't come. But that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. And we went on to help the next person. Yeah. That's I ain't going to say no names. We ain't going to say no names. No. This is a family show. We're not going to say no names. It's a family show. I'm not going to say the curse word. We're not going to say no. We'll say that for on set. So what you do is you take that emotion that you feel like saying now and put it into your character, and you just let them curse words fly. That's right. We'll put that face right there. Yeah. Like remember the water boy? Remember when he was playing football, he put the face of the guy. Yeah. And he wouldn't tackle him. Anyway. Yeah, man, that was great. That was a lot of fun. Very good interview, man. Yeah. I could just sit down and break bed with him and just let him talk. Yeah, no doubt. Very good interview. I just love when because we're getting exclusive interviews, and we're getting behind the scenes stuff, so that when people watch a Rush Hour or they watch those various different movies, they have no clue what went on in Holding and what went on during dinner time and what went on set. Right. And it's just so fascinating to hear these stories. And I know he worked for Calvin Klein too. I know he was a Calvin Klein model. You just put him right. You just put him right out there. Just had him feeling all uncomfortable. Anyway. Ashton Kutcher was a Calvin Klein model too. Yes. Yeah. So so Taz did some modeling. I know he worked with Calvin Klein. I know. After you asked that question, he was putting his clothes on all the way over in Toronto, man. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. But you know what? Since you're the woman, you had the right to ask that question anyway. I'm saying, when you say model, I think of Calvin Klein. Right. I think you hit it on the nose. Yeah, Calvin Klein. Yeah, I got you. Oh, that's super funny. I got you. Well, the women following just went up tremendously. They're going to be on his Instagram trying to find the Calvin Klein commercial. Right. The Calvin Klein photograph. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Trying to move on, but it was such a feel good interview. Yeah, it was. One of the ones you just have a hard time letting go of. You kind of want to, it's one of the things you kind of keep it going forever. But we got to move on. So we're going to take a break. We're going to take a break and look at some tickets to get over to Toronto. That's what we're going to do. Man, listen, I already got the connection. You know what I'm saying? That's only a phone call away. Amtrak goes everywhere. That's it. Greyhound too. I'm taking the Greyhound to
to little Toronto.
You didn't learn nothing he shared during the interview about perseverance and doing what you have to do.
Listen,
to get where you gotta go.
Amtrak.
What if Amtrak not working?
Okay, fine. Then I'll take Greyhound.
All right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
You caught something. You caught,
I got it.
You caught what he said. You caught something.
Man,
You
Greyhound.
You heard the perseverance, right? You heard it.
I heard it.
All right.
I got it, Kevin.
All right.
Don't be trying to talk to me like that.
All right. So we're going to take a break.
Yeah, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, it's going to be time for news and sports.
Scholars Professional Editing Firm consists of a specialized group of academic doctors, editors, and statisticians that keep doctoral candidates moving through the academic doctoral process. The Scholars Group accepts doctoral dissertations, capstone projects, premise, research studies, research proposals, research papers, and oral defense preparations and presentations. The Scholars offer both qualitative and quantitative research assistant data analysis, dissertation editing, writing support, and mentorship through their bootcamp 8-week online program. The Scholars Professional Editing Group will keep you moving. And for more information, visit www.thescholarseding.com. That's www.thescholarsedediting.com. Or contact Dr. Tamika Haynes at 281-315-6053.
All right.
So we are back. Ah, man, that was good. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
But check it out, though. All right, so now it's time for what?
News and sports.
All right, so it's time for news and sports.
Yeah.
Right? And so this sports story is near and dear to me and Nikki's heart because it's about a brother of ours, a friend of our show, and we had him as a guest on our show. In fact, he was our second guest.
He sure was.
On our show back in 2017. And he has just been promoted to a lofty position in the NBA. He's Malik Rose, two-time NBA champion with the San Antonio Spurs, personal friend of ours. And so what we want to do, we're going to do something that we normally don't do. We're going to play his theme song, Black and Silver.
Yeah.
That we played during the show. And we had him on in 2017. And keep in mind, gang, all our shows are archived. You can find it. He was our second guest back in 2017. Two-time NBA, San Antonio Spurs, Malik Rose. He's just been promoted to one of two people that were promoted to vice president of operations in the NBA. Not for the Atlanta Hawks, for the entire NBA. And we're just so proud of him. And I was texting back and forth with him and just wanted to let him know how proud I was and that this could not have happened for a better brother and friend. So shout out, congratulations to our friend of the show, Malik Rose. And here is Black and Silver, the theme song for the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, you know what time it is. Black and silver, black and silver, black and silver, black and silver. Yeah, you know what time it is. Black and silver, black and silver, black and silver, black and silver. I said it's about that time. You know what time it is. Do this for San Antonio, part of the champion. We ain't just in the game because we plan to win. Plus we go hard in the paint, this how we get it in. I do this for the town, put it down. You can't help but love. Black and silver, black and silver, black and silver, black and silver. I got the spur on the fitted anytime you see me out in public. Black and silver, black and silver, so they be like game time. You know we going live from the AT&T Center. Hear me in the crowd. I run the court like Tony Parker when I'm on the drive. I'm taking off like Jefferson, catch me in the sky. Slicker than my new, try to take me off the dribble. Above the rim like Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental. I'm headed to the Hall of Fame. Check my credentials, and you can't take me out my zone. The day is official. Kobe, you're not an issue, cause this is our year. Cause we go hard in the paint just like the one Blair. Spurs up, we in here. San Antonio, how you feel? We got the future of the game. George Hill. I said it's about that time. You know what time it is. Do this for San Antonio, part of the champion. We ain't just in the game because we plan to win. Plus we go hard in the paint, this how we get it in. I do this for the town, put it down. You can't help but love. Black and silver, black and silver, black and silver, black and silver. I got the spur on the fitted anytime you see me out in public. Black and silver, they love it, so they be like running up and down the court. It's like if you wanna buy it, pop up in my fundamentals. Gotta play it winning, y'all. Hit the ball, hit your goal. Time you gotta dish it out. Run the play, lay up and jam. My own play a shot.
Look, we go hard in the paint, this how we get it in. I do this for the town, put it down, you can't help but love it. Silver, black and silver, black and silver, black and silver. I got the spur on the fitted anytime you see me out in public. Silver, black and silver, so they be like. You catch me sitting courtside, repping for the home team with a spur fitted on my head. Black jersey and crease jean, jumping all about my seat. Anytime they slow a bucket, Parker coming down the court with dunking in the paint. I love it. I'm representing San Antonio to the fullest, feeling anxious for that 3-point shot, cause he about to pull it. Seeing the new breeze do they think it's something so amazing. And anytime we take a win, the crowd's going crazy. Wilding out in the stands, shouting and clapping hands, and screaming go Spurs go, and this is for the fans. And downtown traffic crazy when it's playoff season. Tell them it's for the black and silver if they ask the reason. Triumphantly celebrating with the whole family screaming. My first time inside the dome, I felt like I was dreaming. Posted up after the game, wait for an autograph. Those were some good times for me, y'all wouldn't take them back. Yeah. I said it's about that time, you know what time it is. Do this for San Antonio, part of a champion. We ain't just in the game because we plan to win. Look, we go hard in the paint, this how we get it in. I do this for the town, put it down, you can't help but love. Black and silver, black and silver, black and silver, black and silver. I got the spur on the fitted anytime you see me out in public. Silver, black and silver, so they be like.
Yeah, that's that song right there.
That's it.
Black and silver, black and silver, black and silver, black and silver.
I do it for my town, like you know what time it is.
Black and silver, black and silver, black and silver, black and silver.
I'm telling you, that's
the heart in the paint.
Yeah, man.
That's
so,
that song,
that's
right,
the song
there.
right there, man. That's
Yeah,
the song.
congratulations, congratulations, congratulations.
Yeah. All right. So, in sports, Malik Rose, David Booth hired as NBA Vice President of Basketball Operations. The newly created position will report to NBA President Byron Spriel. The NBA has hired two-time NBA champion Malik Rose and veteran NBA front office member David Booth as Vice President of Basketball Operations. The NBA confirmed to the undefeated. Rose and Booth begin the New York City-based jobs Monday and will report to the NBA President Byron Spriel. Among their job responsibilities will be discussing league programs, rules, competitive elements, and new initiatives with NBA teams and players. Other job duties include broadening and growing a working relationship with NBA teams under the Respect for the Game rules announced in 2010 that offer players guidelines for permissible reactions to the referees. Moreover, the two African-American men will work on all game-focused topics with teams. And we are excited to be adding two key people with multifaceted skill sets for two key roles at the NBA, Spriel told the undefeated. We believe the NBA and our teams in turn will drive great benefits in drawing on the collective playing, coaching, scouting, and front office expertise of Malik and David. Rose joins the league office following a recent 2-year stint as the Detroit Pistons assistant general manager. The 13-year NBA veteran was also the general manager of the NBA G League Erie Bayhawks from 2015 to 2018. The Philadelphia native averaged 6.2 points and 4.1 rebounds in 813 games while playing for the Charlotte Hornets, San Antonio Spurs, New York Knicks, and Oklahoma City Thunder from 1996 to 2009 and won NBA championships with the Spurs in 1999 and 2003. The former Drexel University star also earned a bachelor's degree in computer information systems and a master's degree in sports management. Rose and Booth were hired after an extensive search and interview process. Spriel said the NBA confirmed to the undefeated that it restructured certain functions at the league office last week to better align with changes in their business. The NBA added that the restructuring was meant to ensure that the league remains well positioned for future growth. Mark J. Spears is a senior NBA writer for the undefeated, and he used to be able to dunk on you, but he hasn't been able to dunk in years, and his knees still hurt, is what he said. So we're just so proud of Malik, man. And like I said earlier, it couldn't have happened for a better person, a better brother, a better friend. Yeah. And Malik has always had a good, upstanding reputation as a person, as a professional. He would be considered a journeyman. He was someone who, before he was drafted, undersized power forward. 6'7", but he's a mountain. You know what I'm saying? And Shaq has even admitted that the one of the person that he's played against that has given him problems was Malik Rose, because his center of gravity is so low and he was so strong. But he was a journeyman, and he found his niche in how to keep on a team, how to stay on a team. He did all the dirty work. He got all the rebounds. He scored key buckets and things like that. But he was a good person. Tim Duncan loved him, man. He called him. He nicknamed him Leaky. You know what I mean? Tim Duncan, Dave Robinson, they love Malik Rose, and they will tell you. And but it's a business where you could trade and things like that, and they all still remain friends to this very day.
Nice.
Shout out to Malik Rose. Congratulations. On behalf of the Kevin and Nikee show.
Yeah.
And you get the bell.
Yes.
That's all I got in sports.
Yes.
Had to do that.
That's right.
Anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, he's so humble, to come on our show. We were so honored to have him. Yeah. So congratulations, Malik Rose. But in news, CBS, MTV, and VH1, amongst some other networks, they are working with a private investigator to search the personal post of the people who work with them, like celebrities, to see if there were any racist tweets, whatever. Wow. And if it has been, they will be fired. And a few have already been fired. So far, 5 celebrities have been fired. One of the celebrities is Hartley Sawyer from The Flash.
Wow.
Yeah, they're getting rid of you. They're having, these networks are putting up a no tolerance zone for these celebrities, actors, actresses. If you have been caught saying some things in the past now,
right.
in the past, you will be let go. And Hartley Sawyer was one of the people who have been let go from The Flash. And there are other more. There are like 5 of them so far. But one of the people was Hartley Sawyer.
It's disappointing because, I used to watch The Flash. I wasn't like a faithful watcher of it every week, but I did watch it and really enjoyed it. And I thought she was a phenomenal actress. And it's one of them things where sometimes we look at how creative and talented someone is that, you just never know these things are what's going on in their hearts, and they're putting this stuff online. It's just disappointing. It's just disappointing on everyone. Anyway.
So they're no tolerance zone. They are putting it up. Is not to be tolerated. And also, chokehold will be banned in Pennsylvania, except for excessive force. But it's that excessive force that we have to find the line in.
Right.
You know what I mean? What is excessive force that demands a chokehold? Right. So they're still working on that fine line for the chokehold. So right now it's being banned in Pennsylvania.
Now you heard about the story. Maybe you saw the video. There were a whole lot of cops that resigned because they were not allowed to use the chokehold. But here's the thing: you talk about you hit a great point. Where's going to be the fine line as in terms of what is excessive force and what's not, and whose perspectives is it going to be based on the cops' perspective or policy and bylaws and training that set forth certain parameters, and when certain parameters are crossed, and only when they're crossed, that constitute excessive force. And and also, these cops resigning because they can't use the chokehold brings me to this other point. Is this excessive force going to be divvied out to all cultures?
That's what I'm saying.
Because it seems like it's only geared towards
African Americans. So if you are resigning of your job because you can't continue to brutalize people, then by all means go on.
Yeah, peace.
Go on.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. Go on. Because it's not right. Yeah. It's not right. You would not want it done to you.
Right. Or your child.
Or your child. Put yourself in their shoes. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes. How would you feel if someone called the police on you? You're innocently walking down the street and a bunch of African American officers run up to you and just take you down to the ground without even talking to you first.
Right.
How would you feel about that?
And choking you.
And choking you up till you pass out. How would you feel about that? Right. You got to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Right. You have to. Word of God says, do unto others as you would have those people do unto you. Right. You can't be out here preaching God and Jesus, but you're doing wrong. Right. You can't be doing that. And you can't be saying, oh, honor this color, honor. You can't be doing that. Right. You cannot be doing that.
And just to add to, the chokeholds being banned in Philadelphia, there was a news story that can be found online. In Philadelphia, they found 1,300 posts on Facebook from cops that had racist slurs and there were like 300 cops that were put on desk duty as a result of it. It might have been 13,000. It was 13,000. I'm sorry. It was 13,000, not 1,300. 13,000 posts that the city hired their own private investigator or watchdog, and they found 13,000 comments and posts by 300 within the 300 cops who are now on desk duty. Some of the comments included rape. Yeah. And so this is showing us where this thing is.
And my thing is when you went to that academy and you took that oath to uphold the law
and protect and serve all.
Protect and serve everyone, not break it, not use it to your advantage. It's wrong.
Or to fulfill your hate in your heart.
It's wrong. If you have hatred and malice in your heart, you don't need to be an officer.
You don't need to be in no position to help nobody.
No. 99% of police officers, we do have some good cops out there, but it's that 1%, that makes it bad for everybody. Yep. It's that 1%, and it's that 1% that we need to fix. It's that 1%. In other news, Bubba Wallace, NASCAR, found a noose actually, Bubba didn't find it. I just want to make sure we clear that up. Bubba didn't find it. NASCAR found it. Okay. NASCAR found the noose in Bubba's car. And Bubba was very upset about that. He was very heartfelt about that because, he is the only African-American race car driver. And, he was very upset about that. Now we're putting nooses in people's cars because we can't have our way with killing unarmed African-American men.
Right. Or the Confederate flag.
Or the Confederate flag. The Confederate flag is coming down. So now we're going back to putting nooses. But if that's your only go-to. Right. That's your only go-to. Right. You can't do nothing else, so we're going to put the noose in. That's your only go-to. How about you show your face?
Right, I was going to say that. Stop being a punk and a coward and hiding.
Let's do it. Yeah. You're going to put the noose in the man's car, do it in front of his face. Right. How about that? What's the word? If you can't get along, get a fair one going. Let's put down the guns and all that kind of stuff. Let's get an old street rumble going on. How about that?
That's how they used to do back in the day.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody would circle around.
Let's box this thing out. Let's box this thing out for real. Put down the nooses, put down the guns, put down the capes over the face, and let's take it to the streets. Right. That's how we used to do it back in the day.
Right.
Okay?
And we're not promoting violence. We're
not promoting violence. But my thing is, don't hide.
Right.
Don't hide. Let me see your face.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Do it in front of my face.
Right.
Let's do that.
Right.
So, put down, let's take it to the streets. Take it to the streets. And in other news, a beautiful story.
You can switch that right on up.
I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
In other news,
go ahead.
A beautiful story in Cape May. In Cape May, there is a museum that is named after who? Miss Harriet Tubman. Oh. Yes, I want to go to Cape May and I want to see this museum. The people of Cape May have worked tirelessly to bring this museum to life because apparently Miss Harriet spent some time in Cape May.
Well, listen, I want to be negative. Why did they just name it just now? I ain't feeling it. I'm just playing. That's a good gesture. They get the bell. They get the bell. No, I don't want to be negative. Go ahead, Nick.
No, apparently Miss Harriet Tubman spent some time in Cape May. She worked as a cook to earn money for her mission of freeing slaves. Okay? So not congratulations, but kudos to Cape May.
That's it.
Kudos to Cape May. I want to go to Cape May. I want to take a trip to Cape May to go to this museum.
That's it.
But yeah, so She worked as a domestic laborer
That's what's up.
to fund her mission.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. That's all I got in news. That's all I got in news.
All right. So
That's
we're going
it.
to take a break. And when we come back, it's going to be time for my favorite part of the show. We're going to find out what's bothering Nikee. It's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, and we'll
be right back.
All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. Welcome to the room of people who have rooms of people that they love one day docked away. Just because we check the guns at the door doesn't mean our brains will change from hand grenades. You living on the psychopath sitting next to you. You living on the murderer sitting next to you. You think I'd get here sitting next to you. But after all I've said, please don't forget. All my friends are here, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. We don't deal with outsiders very well. They say newcomers have a certain smell. Yeah, trust issues not to mention. They say they can smell your intentions. You living on the freak show sitting next to you. You have some weird people sitting next to you. You think I did not get here sitting next to you. But after all I've said, please don't forget. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. Why'd you come? You knew you should have stayed. I tried to warn you just to stay away. And now they're outside ready to buzz. It looks like you might be one of us.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. All
Yes,
right.
yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes,
All right.
yes.
All right. So, yeah.
You like that? Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
You hear that vibrato?
Yeah. I got you. All right. So,
Hit the note.
What?
Hit the note. Let me hear you do it.
I have to sing a song that requires that note.
You can't just come out and do it.
Trying to think of a song that I could go up in the clouds, right?
Yeah, go up in the cloud.
What song? I did it before on the show before.
You sure did.
What song was I singing?
I don't know.
I can't remember the song I was singing.
All right, but hit the note later. I want to see.
I'll do it later. All right, I'll do it later.
Okay.
But for right now, it's time for my favorite part of the show. We're gonna find out what's bothering Nikee. What's bothering you, Nick?
Nothing this week. You know what I did last week.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I did last week. I hear you. I see you. I'm good with you. That's it. I'm done with you. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what I did last week, and I'm feeling so much better. I'm feeling so much better when you drop off that negativity. That's it. Drop off the negativity.
Okay.
When you drop off the negativity, you feel so much better. I didn't respond to anything. I didn't post anything. You know what I did? I took my finger, licked it, and scrolled right on by you.
That's it.
That's what I did. Drop off the negativity. Feel so much better. I feel 100 pounds lighter.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to. I no longer have to worry about who my friends are. I see you.
Right.
I see you.
Right.
I see you. Like I said last week, I see you. I hear you. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, girl. Bye, boy. Feel so much better. That's it. That's all I got.
Straightforward to the point. That's it. That's how you do it.
That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just a sad thing when you break bread with somebody and you find out later when something happens what's really in their heart, who they really are. And now you're like, well, hold up. You wasn't like this before.
Mm-hmm. You rode in my car, dang that.
You know what? You got me tongue-tied.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? You rode in, I gave you a ride in my car to film. And this is what's really in your heart? Right. Come on. Bye. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Right. Goodbye. Done. That's it.
All right.
That's it. That's all I got. Short, sweet, and to the point.
That's it. I was going to say short, sweet, powerful, and to the point.
That's it.
All right.
All right. So we're going to take another break. And when we come back, it's going to be time for my favorite part of the show, Kevin's Corner. When we come back, it's Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere. We will be right back.
I wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice that sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. We're stressed out. Sometimes a certain smell will take me back to when I was young. How come I'm never able to identify where it's coming from? I'd make a candle out of it if I ever found it. Try to sell it, never sell out of it. I'd probably only sell one. Maybe to my brother, cause we have the same nose, same clothes, homegrown, a stone's throw from a creek we used to roam. But it would remind us of when nothing really mattered. Out of student loans and treehouse homes, we all would take the ladder. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money. Yeah. We used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money. Yeah. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out.
Used to play pretend, money. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, money. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we fly far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money. Yeah.
You're listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. All right.
So we are back.
Yeah. From outer space.
I don't know where the outer space part came
That
from.
song.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, back. from outer space. Dun, dun, dun. I stepped into something. See that look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you give the key. Something. Oh, now go on out the door. Don't turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome here anymore.
That's all right when I'm Bitter Women song.
No.
Okay.
You think I stumble? You think I lay down and cry? Oh, no, not I will survive. There you go.
I got one more life to live. I done gave all I could give.
I will survive.
I will survive.
I will survive. Hey.
Okay.
We done jacked that song out.
Yeah.
We don't know none of the
I
words.
didn't know none of the words, but anyway, they got the message.
We're sorry.
Yeah.
We
hack up a lot of songs. But
we do heck up a lot. I think we should learn the words.
yeah, we got to learn the words.
We're sitting in a pandemic, darn it. We can learn the words of something.
Yeah. All right.
Wow. All right. So now it's time for my favorite part of the show, Kevin's Corner.
All right. So we're going to keep the high vibration train moving.
Chee-chee.
Being week number 64.
Yeah.
We're still dealing with signs that one is operating on high vibration and frequency in life. And we're going to deal with the next two characteristics, 102 and 103. One of the ways that you know that you are a high vibration person is that through this tough life, you become or take on the characteristics of a journeyman.
Yeah.
Because that word journeyman entails a lot of words. Perseverance, long suffering, endurance, never giving up.
That's right.
Not being a quitter. All of which are characteristics of someone that's operating on a high vibration. But a journeyman is a worker skilled in a given building, trade, or craft who has successfully completed an official apprenticeship qualification. Journeymen were paid daily, and the word journey is derived from journée, meaning day in French.
Nice.
We were talking a little bit about French in the beginning of the show.
Oui.
Journeymen understand the phrase work while it's day, meaning there's going to come a time when one is not going to be able to do what they are pursuing and or doing now one day. So it is a worker, a person, a sports player who is reliable, but you don't necessarily have to be all that outstanding. But you're a journeyman. Nice.
Love it.
And because you're a journeyman, which is our next brings us to our next characteristic, you reach your destination. To fulfill one's destiny means to do whatever it takes to weather the journey, to complete an epic or important event that is supposed to and should happen to you. It will happen if one stays the course, not losing sight of the goal, moving through all opposition and against all odds. That sounds like Taz. They are able to outlast their opponents. Journeymen will stay the course and reach their destination because they understand that life is a marathon, not a sprint.
That's right.
That's it, man.
Love it.
That's all I have.
Love it.
That's it.
Love it. All right. You know what to do.
All right. So before we put it out there, once again, man, we want to thank you guys for tuning in each week. We love you. You're in our thoughts and prayers. We do think about you. You encourage and inspire and motivate us to keep on bringing you hot guests, hot shows, hot music, and much, much more. Hot topics. You know what time it is. Black and silver, black and silver, black and silver. Anyway, I got a little bit off track, but you get it. Anyway, I'm Actor Kevin D. Benton. You can follow me on Facebook, Kevin D. Benton, on Twitter, @Kevin D. Benton, on Instagram, Actor Kevin D. Benton, and on YouTube. You can find us, Actor Kevin D. Benton, and Actress Nikee Warren, and check out that stuff we were telling you about in the beginning of the show.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Nikee Warren, on Twitter, @Nikee Warren, and on the gram, hello, I'm Nikee, that's spelled HELLOIMNIKEE. You can find our show, Kevin Nikee Show, on Facebook, @Kevin Nikee Show on Twitter, and the Kevin Nikee Show on the gram. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding our show, there you go.
Right there. I went up in the clouds.
There you go. Hit us up, Kevin Nikee Show @yahoo.com. You have any questions, comments, concerns for our special guest?
Taz Garcia.
Hit us up, Kevin Nikee Show @yahoo.com. Listen, we'll read it to him, get the answer, and read it back. And like we always say, who knows, your letter can be featured on our show. That is it, man.
That's it. That's it.
Listen, get out wear your mask, do something, go for a bike ride, go for a hike, drop that dead weight off, and keep it moving.
It's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, and we are out of here. You heard.
Peace.
Peace.
In my mind, we were meant to be. Are you feeling me, yo? I'm the girl in your life, I'm the one you call wine. And I need to know, are you feeling me, yo? Is there anyone else that can do it the best? Give you things you need, well it must be me. I got baby dreams and no fantasies, but I need to know, are you feeling me, yo? Are you feeling me? Yeah, 'cause I'm feeling me. Something in my heart, yeah. Say for you, I got feelings for you. Are you loving me, yo? Tell me if it's our time. Do I blow your mind? 'Cause I need to know. Put my life on the line. I'm the king of my heart, all the love that I own. But before I do that, are you feeling me, yo? Anything for you, 'cause I'm big on you. But I need to know, are you loving me, yo? Are you feeling me? Ooh, 'cause I'm feeling you. Something in my heart.
Are you feeling the show?
Hey.
Are you feeling the show?
Yeah,
Are you
Are you feeling me, baby, baby? Yeah.
Let me talk for a minute.
Yeah.
Who's the best? Making these beats. Who can it be? Are you feeling the show? Are you feeling the show? Are you feeling the show? Oh, oh. Who is the best? Making it beats. Who can it be? Feeling the show? Are you feeling the show? Are you feeling the show? Oh, oh. Who is the best? Making it beats. Who can it be? Are you feeling the show? Are you feeling the show? Are you feeling the show? Oh, oh. Who is the best? Making these beats. Who can it be? Are you feeling the show? Are you feeling the show? Are you feeling the